But I think the keeper's been done out of a stump in there. Harry Brooks joined Milan. England are still in a good position. England are 105 for 3 in the 11th.
Thank you, Stefan. Commentary right now on 5 Sports Extra. To the Stoop, Harlequins against Northamptonshire. Sarah Orchard.
Yeah, there's been another try. It's for Northampton. It's Harlequins 28, Northampton 15. They've got a couple of tries now, but I've added up 4 opportunities where Northampton should have scored. They should be ahead, but it's not. It's all about Quins. Quins 28, Northampton 15.
Thank you. I don't know why I said Northamptonshire. I think it's just because we've been talking about cricket a few seconds beforehand. Sarah, thank you very much indeed. Right, we will bring you more reaction to what we've witnessed this afternoon at the Etihad. Manchester City beating Manchester United by 6 goals to 3. We'll also speak to Robbie Savage or Chris Sutton ahead of 6:06. So much to talk about. 08085 909 693. But that music tells you that kick-off is almost upon us at Ellen Road. Steven Gerrard said he thought before the international break that Aston Villa had turned a corner. Well, they face a Leeds side with big players back from injury. Your commentary team, Clinton Morrison and Vicky Sparks.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a bubbling, buzzing Elland Road, which has become a bastion of good form for Leeds so far this season. Unbeaten so far this campaign at home, although it must be said their recent record here against Villa isn't great. Steven Gerrard praising his side for showing grit, resilience and steel in their win over Southampton last time out. Let's be fair, Clinton, it was a shocking game for the neutral, that one, but they will need every ounce of that same grit, that same resilience, that same steel here this afternoon. Let's just hope for a better spectacle.
Yeah, I think it will be better. To be fair, they just needed the 3 points. Steven Gerrard was under pressure, the players were under pressure to produce. It wasn't the best footballing match, but I don't think anyone cares as long as they got the 3 points. But I think today will be a better game. I think they'll be full of confidence coming to it. I know Leeds are on the back of losing to Brentford, but they've started the season well. 2 good teams, to be fair. I'm really looking forward to it, Vicky.
Well, as Steve just mentioned, Leeds with some big players back. They make 3 changes from that defeat by Brentford a month ago. Rodrigo, captain Liam Cooper and Rasmus Christensen all return after injury. So Diego Llorente drops to the bench. Cody Drammer and Joe Gelhardt miss out entirely. Patrick Bamford amongst the subs, as well as his new signing Wilfred Gnonto for the first time, and Junior Firpo. Villa missing some big players. Digne, Kamara, the latest absentees. Augustinson comes in to make his Villa debut at left back, and Douglas Luiz comes in midfield. They're still without Matty Cash, Diego Carlos, as well as the players line up around the centre circle. And we're talking about Jesse Marsch as well, Clinton, and the sort of impact that this will have, him being up on the gantry as we welcome listeners to the BBC's World Service. And we must mention as well the players wearing black armbands today to mark those who lost their lives in that horrific stadium crush yesterday in Indonesia. Thoughts very much with those affected. So the players breaking away from the centre circle into their respective huddles. And the start for this match, Clinton, you would expect to be fast, to be frenetic, because that is what Leeds United have been doing at Ellen Road this season.
No, they have, and these fans are like the 12th man. They're on it. They'll be urging them to get forward, and they've missed football. Even though you say the fans have missed it, the players have missed football, not playing for a month. So they'll be trying to get out on the front foot.
So it will be Leeds to get us underway here at Ellen Road. Leeds, who against Aston Villa have won just 2 of their last 14 home games. Villa looking to make it 3 league wins in a row at Ellen Road for the very first time in their history. But this has been a place of strength this season for Jesse Marsch's side, and Sinisterra getting forwards early on, played out by Villa for the throw over on the far side. Aston Villa playing in their change strip of all black. Leeds all in white, playing from left to right. And Leeds it is with the early throw deep in Villa territory. Sinisterra does well. The Colombian wins another throw. Right decision, despite all his travelling over the international break, to put him straight in?
Definitely, he's full of confidence. As you said, 5 goals in his last 5 games for club and country. He's in great form. He might be a bit tired in his legs, but mentally he'll be all right. He'll be fine, and he'll be raring to go. It'll be a good battle between him and Ashley Young. Ashley Young knows he's going to have his work cut out this afternoon.
So Villa win a free kick midway through their own half, and we can take you through the full lineups here on 5 Live. Meslier in goal for Leeds. The back four of Christensen, Koch, Cooper the captain, and Straub. Ahead of them it's Adams and Rocker, with Sinisterra, Aronson and Harrison supporting Rodrigo up front. Villa have Martinez in goal. The back four of Young, Konsa, Mings and Augustinsson making his debut. Ahead of them it's Ramsey, Louise and McGinn the captain, with Bailey and Coutinho supporting Ollie Watkins up front. As Villa win the ball with Konsa sent forward, looking for the run of Watkins, will be picked up by Bailey instead. Over on the right-hand side, he's forced backwards towards halfway. A good atmosphere already inside Ellen Road as Leeds win the free kick. The huge roars are because Leon Bailey, instead of allowing that free kick to be taken by Leeds, has played the ball out to the left-hand side. To be fair, Clinton, I'm not sure Leon Bailey entirely knew what had happened there and that the referee Stuart Atwell had blown his whistle, but it's the needle that we expected.
It is.
On.
I think he did hear the whistle and he just bullied the ball away in frustration, but I feel Atwell, if he's let it go there, he's going to have to let a lot go, because the Leeds players and the fans wanted him to be booked. But yeah, we'll say that he didn't hear it. We didn't hear it.
2 minutes played here on 5 Live, 0-0 between Leeds and Aston Villa, as Meslier, all in bright orange, picks up the ball on the edge of his penalty area and plays the ball out to the right-hand side. And Christensen, who heads the ball back towards the centre circle. Tyler Adams gets his back on it rather than anything else. And Villa will pick it up with McGinn, but he is challenged. And that is a challenge. Deems Stuart Atwell worthy of a free kick to Aston Villa. Third of the way inside the Leeds half, left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a foul. Christensen's just late on John McGinn. He gets there first. Who needs to start producing John McGinn? Since he's got the captain's armband, his levels have dropped. He was outstanding last season, so hopefully they'll be hoping he can rediscover his form that he does when he's going playing international football.
Well, that's it, isn't it? He captained Scotland to Nations League promotion over the international break in the absence of the injured Andy Robertson. It's a dilemma. When you swap the captain's armband, how might it affect individual performances? Certainly more levels for John McGinn to hit at Aston Villa this season, as the man who replaced Tyrone Mings is penalised on the edge of the Leeds penalty area. And it's a free kick to Leeds on the edge of their box. That's the irony, isn't it? Stephen Gerrard, when he took the captaincy off John McGinn, saying it will allow Tyrone Mings, whose performances had come in for criticism, to focus on his own game, and he gives it to McGinn, and suddenly McGinn's standards drop.
Yeah, it's the curse to the captain's armband. No one wants it, but you're right. But Mings has been good since he's come in. He's definitely been, as you said earlier, you lose someone like Carlos. Mings has come in and played really well.
Ball forward from Tyler Adams will be chased by Rodrigo and claimed very well by Emi Martinez, who launches the ball over the halfway line. Robin Koch will meet it for Leeds and send it forward, looking for the run of Aronson. Leeds is there. Adams will chest the ball down. And Leeds in possession on the halfway line. And they win the free kick as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's good harassing there, and good play from Leeds. Aronson, I think, is a key player. I've watched him. He usually plays out wide, but he's a really good player. I like him. What a signing he's been. Really clever player in that number 10 role. So they'll have to watch him. Douglas Luiz will have to keep an eye on him.
Well, already there is this little bit of needle creeping in on the pitch as well. As the atmosphere inside Ellen Road, as Leeds in possession with their captain Liam Cooper. Two huge clubs, of course, Leeds and Aston Villa, but we were talking before the match, weren't we, Clinton, about the recent needle. If you go back to 18-19, the goal that Matthias Klich scored when Villa thought Leeds were going to put it out because they had a player down, and Marcelo Bielsa allowing Villa to walk through and equalised unopposed. It just all adds that recent history to the frisson around Ellen Road this afternoon, as Martinez clears long up towards halfway. 0-0. 5 minutes played here on 5 Live. A reminder, as if you needed one, in the Manchester derby earlier today, Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. Reaction to come throughout this afternoon and into the evening here on BBC Radio 5 Live to a quite remarkable scoreline. And if you haven't caught any of the game this afternoon, don't be misled by the scoreline itself. Manchester City absolutely dominant. A humbling afternoon for Erik ten Hag's side. He told 5 Live 10 minutes or so ago live this afternoon that it's a performance that was unacceptable from Manchester United as Leeds, and another free kick and a very early card for the Aston Villa captain John McGinn. 6 minutes gone, and in fact it's not
Augustin.
Yeah,
Augustinson.
Rather than McGinn. McGinn was moving towards the referee and saying what's going on here.
Yeah.
But Augustinson on his debut into the book early on, and we were talking about the challenge that the Aston Villa fullbacks were facing. Walking a tightrope now, Clinton.
And you're right, Vicky, he's just been booked. It's his first start, as you said. He'll be nervous. Now he has to be careful for the rest of the game. You miss time a tackle and go down to 10 men, you let your team down. So he has to be sensible. It was a needless tackle, that was.
Well, he's in for the injured Luca Digne. One of several big players that Villa are missing this afternoon as Leeds give the ball away. It's cleared out to the left-hand side, won't quite be kept in by Coutinho, and Leeds have a throw. Let's head to the rugby. Harlequins against Northampton. Sarah Orchard.
Sometimes it's just not Northampton's day. It's now Harlequins 35, Northampton 15. A fifth try scored this time by Caden Murley, through the air. Beautiful score for Quins. It's now Quins 35, Northampton 15, 12 on the clock.
7 minutes gone here at Ellen Road, goalless between Leeds United and Aston Villa. Leeds enjoying the bulk of possession though early on, although Aston Villa almost winning about with Ramsey, but it's picked up by Strauch, who has kept his place at left back for Leeds despite the return to the bench and fitness of Junior Fairplay. Here come Leeds with their right back. Christensen plays the ball into the penalty area, finds Aronson. Rodrigo shot his blocks and Martinez comes and plays on the edge of a 6-yard box.
Good football, sinister area. The first time I've seen him live, yeah, he does look lively, Vicky. I can understand why you've been talking about him a lot on that left-hand side. He's got great close control. Ball goes into Aronson, he lays it to Rodrigo. Good defending from Aston Villa, but it's been a good start from Leeds.
Well, if he scores this afternoon, Luis Sinisterra, he will become just the second player in Leeds history to score in each of his first 4 starts. That's after Charlie Keatley all the way back in 1928, and it is a marker how well he's done, scoring again for Colombia. 3 goals in 2 matches over the international break, but he starts again today. Here is Bailey for Aston Villa, edge of the penalty area. Watkins, bit of space, tried to dink it with his left boot to McGinn. We've made a good run around the outside. It's behind for a Leeds goal kick, but for a moment there, Clinton Morrison, the Leeds defence caught flat-footed.
Yeah, it's good play from Bailey. Ollie Watkins is looking at John McGinn. He's got to do better. It's a poor touch from Ollie Watkins. Doesn't sort his feet out, and if he does sort his feet out and gets a better touch, John McGinn's got a better shot, so he has to do better.
Forward from Rocker for Leeds over the halfway line. Down that left-hand side will be collected by Aronson. Again, Christensen is in so much space over on this far right-hand side for Leeds, but they've worked it back to Cooper instead, and now here is Tyler Adams, one of their new summer arrivals. Forwards to another new summer signing, Rocker, whose ball is just ahead of Rodrigo, and it's all the way through to Martinez. But it's notable that the players that Leeds have brought in, Clinton, yes, several of them have worked with Jesse Marsch at Salzburg or Leipzig, but they seem to have settled in very quickly to what he wants to do and what Leeds as a whole want to do in terms of style.
You hit the nail on the head. When you've worked with a manager, you know what his philosophy is and his style of play, and they've come in and hit the ground running. Everyone thought when they lost Calvin Phillips, Rafinha, Leeds would struggle this season. I thought they'd struggle, but the signings have been outstanding, and you've got to credit Jesse Marsch and the new signings that have come in.
Steven Gerrard getting a touch in his touch line area. As Aston Villa take the throw, it's all the way back with Emi Martinez. Jesse Marsch not down there, serving this one-match touchline ban. We thought he'd be on the gantry with us. Clinton was hoping to say hi, but he's down in the press box, already wearing his headset so he can communicate with his staff, taking notes.
He'll move from there because it's too near the fans. They'll be all asking for selfies and that. He knows up there.
Is that what you'd be doing?
Yeah, I'd be doing that. I'm not going to lie.
Aston Villa free kick here, and again, just a little bit of needle in the conversations between Tyler Adams and referee Stuart Atwell as John McGinn just brings the ball back towards the halfway line. Augustinson in a bit of space here, the Villa fullback, but McGinn will swing it into the edge of the penalty area. Meslier will watch it and he'll just miss it as well, and Cooper gets a grateful pat on the back of his head from his young goalkeeper, because Meslier completely lost the flight of the ball there and Cooper's headed it behind for a corner.
I don't know where he's going, Vicky. He's got no chance of getting that ball. He's run literally 10 yards to go and get that ball. He's lucky Cooper will stay switched on, because Tyrone Mings was going to have a free header. It wasn't even a good ball from John McGinn, but Meslier turned it into a good ball.
Well, he's established number one for Leeds, very much so, Meslier, but still just 22 years old, and it's sometimes that decision making that when you watch him you do question. And questions here for Leeds to answer. 10 minutes played already here. Fast start at Ellen Road, 0-0. Villa with the corner over on the far side, swung into the penalty spot, powerfully won by the Leeds skipper Liam Cooper, and Aston Villa will send it all the way back to Emi Martinez in canary yellow this afternoon, out to the right hand side. It's chested down nicely by Douglas Luiz, who plays it out to the right hand side, and Leon Bailey plays it then into Luiz. Leon Bailey, it does come back to him, rather fizzed that at his teammate, and Leeds will pick up the loose ball. Aronson now picked up by Tyler Adams, just inside the centre circle. Heard the shout of man on as Watkins came sliding in and sends it out to the left hand side. It's now with Harrison just outside the penalty area. The shot driven in by Rodrigo, spins out to Sinisterra on the left hand side of the penalty area, plays the ball in. Ricochet will fall kindly for Villa and Luiz, and they will play it out to their right hand side. Leeds pick it up once more, goalless here on 5 Live. 12 minutes played at Ellen Road as Leeds work it out to the right hand side now, and Christensen plays down by John McGinn. Christensen plays it forward, looking for the run of Harrison, cleared away by Aston Villa. Out for the throw in front of the Leeds assistant manager Reni Maric down there, orchestrating things from the dugout, but make no mistake, wherever Jesse Marsch ends up, whether he's down in the press box or up here with us on the gantry,
they can hear
it will be him.
They will be able to hear him from there. He'll be kicking every ball.
He's got a loud voice,
yeah.
to be fair, Jesse Marsch. He's such a lovely man to interview, having done so a couple of times, but he almost transforms when he's down there pitch side. I mean, the passion that he watches the game with as the ball goes out of play for a Leeds throw. Is it something that will affect the players, or in reality, even though Jesse Marsch can shout very loudly, can you hear anything if he's on the touchline in this Ellen Road atmosphere?
When it goes quiet you can hear, but not when the fans are singing, and you're in game mode anyway. You listen to what your manager says, he gives you instructions, and if you don't want to listen to it, you still put the thumb up, and then it goes in one ear out the other, and you just play your game and you do as you're told, to be fair. But it is a blow losing him because he's not on the touchline, but as I said earlier, his assistants, they're just as good as what he is, or he wouldn't have brought them into the club.
Leeds on the halfway line with Rocker, played down the left-hand side, defending for Young to do as the ball is fizzed through to Rodrigo, plays the ball into the box. Martinez wasn't sure, left it, spins out to Christensen, right-hand side of the penalty area, and his cross is gathered by Emi Martinez. Goalless.
It's a great ball from Rodrigo, and if he goes out there, Vicky, as the number 9 wide, then that means midfield runners have to get into the box. It was a good ball, but there was no takers there. But Leeds have started good. Steven Gerrard won't be happy with Aston Villa's start. They can't get a foothold on the game.
Yeah, Leeds very much in control at the moment here at Ellen Road, as the booze off for Emi Martinez, just delaying over releasing that ball, and bounces neatly between Watkins and Coutinho and all the way through to Illan Meslier. 0-0, 14 minutes played here on 5 Live. The Manchester derby earlier, Manchester City 6-3 winners over Manchester United. Do tune in to Match of the Day 2 tonight for the highlights of a cracking match. 10:30 this evening, and we will hear from one of Manchester City's 2 hat-trick heroes, Erling Haaland, at half-time. Phil Foden getting the other 3 goals for City, 2 from Martial and 1 from Anthony for Manchester United. As Villa come forward, here is Watkins inside the penalty area. Meslier with the save, and the follow-up just couldn't quite be latched onto with any strength by Coutinho. But Meslier, well, he's done the job of keeping the ball out of the net. Obviously that's the fundamental job you want him to do, but it's not convincing again, is it, Clinton?
No, it's not convincing, and the header from Cooper weren't convincing. Ollie Watkins, Coutinho wanted it squared. Ollie Watkins goes for goal. Meslier gets out the second attempt, but it was a poor header from Cooper.
Leeds in possession with Cox just inside his own half. Well, Coutinho enjoyed a lot of joy against Leeds last season. 2 goals and 2 assists in the 2 games that Villa played, but struggling for form of late, the Villa man. Just 1 goal in his last 18 Premier League games, as Adams has it for Leeds on the halfway line. Goalless here at Ellen Road. Rodrigo just touched it off behind Aronson and will be picked up by Ramsey, who tumbles and wins the free kick for Aston Villa.
Yeah, Ramsey does well there. John McGinn straight over to the referee and saying he wants a yellow card because Augustin got it, but Augustin's tackle was much worse than that.
So Villa in possession midway through their own half. Aston Villa, who have lost their last 4 away league games, but had that mini upturn in form before the international break, unbeaten in their last 2. The very impressive draw with Manchester City, fighting back from a goal down. And I think, as we can see from the results earlier today in the Manchester derby, not too many teams are going to take points off Pep Guardiola's side this season. And 1-1 win against Southampton as Rodrigo almost in, lapsed by Villa at the back, cleared away by Martinez. But goodness me, at both ends, Clinton, the defences need to sort things out.
He has to be better on the ball, Konza. That's not the first time in this game. He doesn't look comfortable, and Steven Gerrard wants to play out from the back. If you're centre half, you're not comfortable on the ball. You've got to be comfortable. And Martinez done well there, as you said.
Here is Rocker in possession for Leeds, out to Christensen, who again has this space on the right-hand side, plays the ball into the penalty area. Harrison, right-hand side of the box, little back heel from Rodrigo, wins the corner, and he's gesturing furiously, Rodrigo, at where he wants his teammates to move. Good pressure this though from Leeds.
It's been brilliant, but when you're on top, Vicky, that's when you need to score the goal or create more chances. They haven't created a lot of chances, but they are on top and they are dominating at the moment.
And they have this corner over on the near side. Aronson is one of the players over there. Plenty of players lining up on the edge of the penalty area. It is Aronson just to scoop it in, and Cooper was in there. The flicked header though spins out wide, and Martinez can come and gather and just help Aston Villa reset. And again, what are we, 17.5 minutes in, the boo's almost starting up around Ellen Road. They are just taking their time, shall we say, Aston Villa, when it comes to releasing the ball, but they're accelerating through the gears now. Here goes Coutinho, bearing down on the Leeds penalty area, straight into the arms of Meslier. He's furious here, Coutinho. He feels he was pressured there, which caused him to slip as he took the shot. Referee Stuart Atwell unmoved, and Leeds will play the ball out from the back.
It was brilliant from Coutinho, and I'd been watching him in the warm-up, you know, with them kind of finishes, and he was putting them all in the top corner, Vicky. It's so different to game-related, but it's a good run from Coutinho. He just felt like he got clipped by Adams, but good play from Aston Villa. I think Coutinho, and get the ball out to Coutinho and Watkins, they can cause Leeds a lot of problems.
0-0, 18 minutes played here on 5 Live in the World Service. As Tyrone Mings will leave that ball for a Leeds throw. Leeds, who are winless in their last 3 matches, having taken 7 points from a possible 9 in those opening 3 Premier League games. And as they knock the ball around at the back, Cooper just under a bit of pressure from Watkins, and just about gets that back pass back to Meslier. Watkins sliding in, almost managed to nick that away from the Leeds goalkeeper. Cooper making his first Premier League appearance of the season after injury. He has started in the League Cup once, but Clinton, fair to say there's a bit of rustiness here from the Leeds captain. Yeah,
definitely Cooper. It's a short back pass. I thought Ollie Watkins was going to get there.
Christensen scoops the ball forward, looking for Harrison. Mings gets there. Harrison gets back there, plays the ball into the corner flag. Villa goal kick to Harlequins Northampton. Sarah Orchard.
55, Northampton 29, and that's a 6-point game. Saints have now scored 4 tries. They've got a losing bonus. This could be a grandstand finish. 3 minutes to go. Quins 35, Northampton 29.
And let's head to the T20. Henry Moran.
England 151 for 3, midway through the 16th over. They look on course here for potentially a score north of 200. Harry Brook has just been put down, easiest chance you could imagine on the edge of the circle by Babar Azam. England 151 for 3.
Thanks, Henry, and you can listen to commentary of that decisive T20 over on 5 Sports Extra right now here at Ellen Road. It is still goalless, 20 minutes played as McGinn goes down and wins a free kick for Aston Villa midway through the Aston Villa half. And so far, Clinton, certainly Leeds on top.
Leeds is on top. It's a bit of a stop-start game, not really many chances created, but you are right, Vicky. Leeds are on top. Just need to test the goalkeeper. There's not been enough goal action, to be fair. So, and Tyrone Mings will get booked, you know, because he is taking his time over a lot. I feel Atwell is going to have a word with him. They keep taking it. I don't know why Aston Villa want to waste time. You want to win football matches. It's too early to waste time, Vicky. Do you not think?
20 minutes in. I mean, he's not been booked, he's been spoken to, but that would be up there with earliest bookings for time wasting.
Very, very early.
And I'm just craning over our position on the gantry here to try and see the Aston Villa fans and their reaction to that. They're over in the
That
lower
corner,
tier to our right, because surely as away fans as well, you are not actually going to be too happy with that, as Meslier comes and claims that ball. Watkins has gone down. He's not really appealing for anything, but again making a nuisance of himself in and around the feet of the Leeds goalkeeper. Watkins back up to his feet and trots away, but that's it, isn't it? I mean, there's grit, resilience, there's determination, and then there's wasting time over free kicks inside the opening 20 minutes. And you can understand Martinez doing it. We see goalkeepers do it more frequently, don't we? But, you know,
and not
like
after 20 minutes,
yeah.
and you're not winning the game, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 0-0 here on 5 Live. Vincent Morrison alongside me as Aronson plays it forward. Sinisterra into the box, and Rodrigo just misses the cut across the 6-yard box, and the ball will spin away, and Aston Villa will clear inches away for Rodrigo and Leeds from taking the lead, and they have it once more on the right-hand side. 0-0 at Ellen Road, approaching the midway point of the first half, and Koch will send it all the way back to Meslier.
Yeah, Sinisteri again on the left-hand side, causing problem.
And Aronson is chasing this. He's in behind. He's got past Augustinsson. Aronson into the penalty area, right-hand side of the box, twisting and turning. Very well challenged by John McGinn, but Leeds have it with Christensen. Lovely back heel to Aronson, and now Adams. The summer signings combining for Leeds. Adams, brilliant skill initially, then just let the ball run off his left boot. Harrison gets a header in. Leeds have it over on the right-hand side, and Rocker will allow it to go out for a throw. And Ellen Road is very pleased with what they're seeing so far.
Yeah, as I said, that was the first bit of play where you're thinking Rodrigo should really have scored. It just looked like he couldn't get on the end of it, but it was good play on the left-hand side again.
Cooper in possession on the halfway line for Leeds, who are looking to go forward quickly at every single opportunity. The way that they played under Bielsa, it's the way largely that they play under Jesse Marsch, as Rodrigo picks it out, 20 yards out, almost fizzes it wide of that right-hand post, caught it nicely behind for a Villa goal kick, still 0-0.
I don't understand how Leeds are playing with one centre forward and you've got 2 centre halves. Konza or Mings have to go and engage Rodrigo. He gets to take a touch, turn and get a shot, and it's so unlucky it goes wide. And now look, you can see how disappointed Martinez is. He's having a go at Tyrone Mings, and I make him right. Has to go and engage the ball, him or Konza.
Well, this is it. There are conversations happening in pairs all throughout the Villa team. You've got Liam Bailey and Ollie Watkins just exchanging words, not angry words there, but they know they're not at it. Yeah, they know their game plan's not working. They know they need to change something, because otherwise Leeds are going to take the lead. I mean, it's nailed on.
Yeah, it's a matter of time, Vicky. You're right. Even Steven Gerrard, he keeps turning around to his coaching staff. He's not happy at the moment. Aston Villa haven't started. Leeds have started really well.
Still 0-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. A reminder that 6:06 follows us this evening. Come and have your say on the Manchester derby. Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. And of course on this match as well, currently goalless, but from a Leeds perspective, it's been so far so good. The only downside, they haven't made the breakthrough that they feel they will deserve. Nice footwork by Sinisterra, midway through his own half, up to halfway. And Harrison plays it a little short to Christensen, but he comes in and collects and will play it centrally now. Christensen receives it back once again. He's being hassled and harried by Coutinho. And the ball will be shepherded out of play for a throw to Leeds. Coutinho stopping just in front of his manager, Steven Gerrard, who of course shared a pitch with him as players at Liverpool. Let's head back to Harlequins against Northampton. Sarah.
Full-time Harlequins 35, Northampton 29. Quins get the bonus point win. Northampton arguably should get more than a try bonus. They take the spoils, the Londoners, but wow, what a finish. It's all over. Harlequins 35, Northampton 29.
Thanks, Sarah. 25 minutes gone here, and it is goalless between Leeds United and Aston Villa. Christensen on this near side, throwing the ball forward to Rodrigo, and now Rocker out to Strauch, who has a bit of space on the left-hand side now, which has largely been that space on the right, but Leeds trying to work something with Sinisterra, the Colombian, who lays it off to Rocker, who's almost dispossessed. Ramsey was in there, he stayed down. Jacob Ramsey as Leeds come forwards. Interception is made by Young. McGinn then goes down and wins the free kick. Sinistera has bundled him over, and that is going to be a yellow card, accompanied by groans around Ellen Road.
I've seen worse
Sinistera.
I've seen worse fouls than that so far with no yellow cards. I just feel like he wants to stamp his authority on the game, Stuart Atwell, because he's missed a few and let a few go.
So Sinistera into the book as we see this challenge again on John McGinn. It's a foul, but it's not more than that, is it?
No, it's not a yellow card in my eyes.
Well, he definitely catches McGinn, but positionally, Villa aren't really going anywhere. The tackle itself isn't an incredibly poor one by any stretch of the imagination, but he is into the book. McGinn will just move away and have a conversation with Tyrone Mings. It was Jacob Ramsey earlier in that move that looked as though he might have suffered a bit more for Aston Villa staying down, but he is up to his feet and making his way over to that far side of the pitch. Goalless here. Discussions in the Leeds technical area where René Maric, the assistant manager, is orchestrating things. Jesse Marsch watching on in the press box, serving that touchline ban, but will be, I'm sure, very pleased with how his Leeds side have started this match. And that's the thing, that they are just in this groove at Ellen Road in terms of the aggression with which they play, which he says helps the team set the tone, but then also they feed off the energy of the home crowd. They've given the ball away here though. Konsa plays it forward for Aston Villa. Christensen wins the header for Leeds out for a Villa throw midway through the Leeds half. Goalless.
Yes, they have to be better. I feel like I'm a broken record, but they have to be better on the ball. You've got to give your centre forwards chances. You can't just play aimlessly the balls up to the centre forwards, because you've got to give them a chance.
They've given Meslier a couple of nervy moments, or rather, more accurate to say, Meslier and the Leeds goal has given himself those nervy moments, but Leeds have won it back. The header from Rodrigo won't find Aronson though, and it's all the way back with Emi Martinez. There was a bit of a question as to whether Bamford or Rodrigo would start this one. Rodrigo returning from his shoulder injury, Bamford just still working his way back to full fitness as Villa win a free kick on halfway. He scored a hat-trick for the under-21s against Southampton in the last couple of weeks, Bamford. Right decision to go with Rodrigo today, who was in brilliant form before that injury. Yeah,
I think it's right. I think he's been in fantastic. And listen, you have to ease Bamford in. You want him for the whole season. Don't want him to come back and break down, because he is the talisman, he is the main man. And Rodrigo's a good player anyway. As you said, before his injury, he'd been scoring goals. Right decision, maybe we give Patrick Bamford the last half an hour if needed.
Well, at the moment, they need someone to find the breakthrough. Both of these sides. Aston Villa with the free kick just inside the Leeds half again. They're taking a little while over it. And again, Ellen Road has noticed. Ball swung out to this left-hand side. McGinn wins the header, sends it back in, looking for Coutinho inside the penalty area, cleared away by Leeds. Louise will win the header for Aston Villa, and now picked up by Jacob Ramsey, who will drive, deflection behind Villa corner.
Yeah, they're picking up the second balls now. It looks like Villa have got up the pitch, higher up, and that's the centre halves and the defenders have to push the midfielders up. And good play from Ramsey. He's their key player, I think. Ramsey scored the winner against Southampton. I like him. Really exciting young player.
Yeah, first goal of the season. Last time out for Jacob Ramsey. Their Players Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year last season. Clinton says still just 21 years of age, a real prospect, and more than that, a real part of this Aston Villa side. It's Villa with the corner, 0-0 here on 5 Live, 29 minutes gone at Ellen Road as Bailey jogs into the area. Louise drifts the corner in, looking for Mings, spins away. It was an outswinger, that one. He has scored direct from a corner twice already this season, Douglas Luiz. And as Augustinson picks it up for Villa midway through his own half, you just wondered whether he might go for it again.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? It's worked twice already this campaign.
Yeah, he has. He's done well. I just feel maybe the different angle. So yeah, that was this side definitely. He has got that ability though, Douglas. So he's a good player.
Leeds have won it back on halfway. Roca trying to slide in. Rodrigo picks it up just outside the penalty area. Here is Harrison, 25 yards out central position, well dispossessed, and Villa can spring the counter with Jacob Ramsey, the green boots flashing over the halfway line. Out to the left-hand side, and Coutinho, 1-2 with Ramsey. Coutinho goes down, Ramsey's picked it up, Ramsey eased off the ball there, and referee Stuart Atwell has called play back for the original foul on Philippe Coutinho. So it's a free kick to Villa midway through the Leeds half on the left-hand side.
They're not happy at the moment, Villa. Even Douglas Luiz is going, because they've got a set-piece taker there. So they're going over to the set-piece guy who's the coach there and saying he's not happy with what movements that players are doing. So they're not happy, but that is a foul. Coutinho was caught late.
So free kick to Aston Villa. 0-0 at Ellen Road here on 5 Live and the World Service. Here is John McGinn, the captain, with Philippe Coutinho jogging over as well. Who would you go for in this situation, Coutinho or McGinn?
Yeah, Coutinho. I'd swing it in. It probably will be an out-swinger. No, it's not.
It will be Coutinho. It's a good delivery, and the header is over on the edge of the 6-yard box by Ollie Watkins. His blushes are spared. The offside flag goes up on the far side, but my word, he should have buried that.
He should have buried that. You're right, and we were right. I said an in-swinger would be better because you can run onto it, but he's gone too early, Ollie Watkins. But you're right, Vicky. He is offside, and he should be scoring that. He doesn't need to. He's looking across the line. He should be scoring, and he shouldn't go early. But good ball in from Coutinho.
So Meslier has the ball inside his own penalty area, goalless at Ellen Road between Leeds United and Aston Villa. Meslier plays the ball out to the right-hand side, looking for Christensen. Augustinsson wins the header, forward by Tyler Adams for Leeds, away by Mings, forward by Christensen once again. Rodrigo will try and latch onto it. Oh, he was bundled over there, was he, by Konsa? Now, Konsa wins the header just inside the penalty area, but he has absolutely clattered into his opponent there. It's all kicking off. Stuart Atwell just outside the box. Nothing's been given on the pitch. Atwell happy that Konsa won the header, but it was a forceful challenge, shall we say. I mean, Konsa will say, look, I won the header, I'm coming through. Leeds will say, well, hang on a minute, you've cleaned out our player there.
Yeah.
We want a penalty.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I feel like if you stand Rodrigo, I do think Konsa's, yeah, he has got it. Rodrigo's tried to stand there and get a back for it, and it's not going to be given as a penalty. No way. Konsa wins the contact, and it's just Rodrigo. He's just coming back from that shoulder injury, so maybe he was going down and felt it, but no, it was a good header, good clearance from Konsa.
So throw to Leeds. They've lost possession, cleared away by John McGinn. The ball has spun out of play. It will be a Leeds throw. Steven Gerrard applauds. Big thumbs up on the touchline from the Villa manager. He'll be a little bit more pleased, won't he, with the last 5 minutes from Villa?
Yeah, he will be. It's been much better from Aston Villa.
Leeds coming forward though. Aronson dispossessed just inside the penalty area by Jacob Ramsey. He's really growing into this game for Villa. Leeds have it back. They've given it away. John McGinn's clearance takes a nick off Adams. Cook is then fouled, and the huge cheers are because Ellen Road feels, well, hang on a minute, if that's a foul, which we've been given on the halfway line, how different was that to Konsa's challenge on Rodrigo inside the penalty area? The difference, I suppose, being that Konsa clearly win the header, but Watkins gets the touch on it as well. He does, but if you watch it, when you see the replay again, he just leans in on just as about to win the header. So listen, I'm a centre forward union. I don't think it is a foul, but it is a foul. So free kick to Leeds. Rocker has it, tries to slide it through to Aronson, well dispossessed by Douglas Luiz. Oh, Watkins there sliding in, and he stayed down there, Watkins. Oh, let's see this again, because he looks like he might be going for his red card here. Yeah, this might be trouble. Or he's giving himself time because he was going to the top of his pocket, and maybe he's giving himself a bit of time. It's one of these where both players are stretching for the ball. Rocker... Has he got someone talking to him in his ear? Because straight away... VAR will check. The referee is supposed to make the decision on the pitch. And it looks like he's waiting. Might be in trouble here. They're both stretching. Yeah, he's got the yellow. It is a yellow card. But did you see that, Vicky? He looked like he went to, then stopped and thought, let me fix my mic because I might be getting a bit of advice. But VAR still will have a look at that because it did look like it was a lunge. Looked like it was a big lunge into it. Well, they're both going for it, but if Watkins gets there first, Ashley Young is over speaking to Stuart Atwell. Villa clearly not happy. Let's see it again. Oh no, he's tried to slide in and his knees caught him. Yeah, it's not like he's jumped. Look at it. So if you see it again, yeah, it's his right knee that's caught Watkins in the midriff. It's not a sending off. He's not jumped in. It's a yellow card. The right decision. Right decision from Stuart Atwell. It was clumsy. It was clumsy, very clumsy. And if Rocker catches him, it's the knee of the right leg, as you say. If he catches, but the left leg's not super in control. You know, if the left leg is high up, then it's a red card. Yeah. So just we got there in the end, Vic. We got there in the end. They did, yeah. just the yellow for Roca. Right decision. VAR happy, we're underway. And Strout wins the header just outside the Leeds penalty area. 0-0, 35 minutes gone as the shot is driven in from distance by McGinn. Got a deflection. Meslier was scrambling, did have it covered, but it's a Villa corner, and this is better from the away side.
It is better, but I'm questioning McGinn there because I think he could give it to Coutinho. He's one-on-one on his left-hand side, but it was a good strike and it took a deflection. But you're right, Vicky, much better from Aston Villa.
So corner to be taken from that far side. Douglas Luiz isn't over there this time, so doesn't have the option to go for goal direct, whatever the angle. And they're flooding that 6-yard box. The black shirts of Aston Villa very crowded in there. The orange figure of Meslier just trying to get a bit of space on his goal line. And Stuart Atwell saying there's a little bit too much pushing and shoving going on there. He's come across. Meslier not happy with Konsa, who's right ahead of him. Just cutting off those angles for the Leeds goalkeeper, who has looked a little insecure in terms of his decision making at times so far. 0-0, 9 minutes to go until half time, but Villa with this corner on the far side. Stuart Atwell, the referee, just moving out of that crowded 6-yard box, and Villa now will send in this set piece. It's swung deep towards the goal line, cleared away by Rodrigo and Cooper between them. Ashley Young will pick it up on the far side, scoop it back in. Meslier comes, completely misses it again, and Koch is there, heads the ball away. Meslier saying that he was impeded. Villa have won the ball back on halfway, but he is not commanding that area with any sort of conviction, Meslier. Villa play the ball out to the right-hand side, almost played through by Bailey to Douglas Luiz. It's cleared away again for another Aston Villa corner, and now Luiz goes to the referee. Villa had a couple of players down there. Might be that Douglas Luiz is following up.
Yeah, but you are right about Meslier again. He comes and he's just punching thin air again. He's lucky his defender helps him out, but it's a good ball from Coutinho again, and Bailey done well. Good defending.
Corner to Aston Villa. They're putting the Leeds goalkeeper under real pressure here. Swung in low, headed away by Cooper. Aronson will win the header ahead of McGinn, but it will spin to the Villa captain. 8 minutes to play until half time as John McGinn really fishes that back to Martinez. It's one of those that Ellen Road almost tried to suck the ball into the net behind that goal, but Martinez got across and collected possession on the edge of his penalty area. 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service as Koch gets a foot in, plays it out to Christensen. Lovely touch from the Leeds right back. And then Ramsey's challenge on Aronson. We play on, Leeds in possession.
It's a great tackle from Ramsey. I don't understand.
Morrison says
football.
Great tackle.
What's he meant to do? That's a foul by Leon Bailey, that is, on Stroop. But the one from Ramsey on Aronson, it's a great tackle. Get off the floor. It's a contact sport, football. It's a great tackle. That is right. The one on Stroop, Leon Bailey, that is a foul. But the one from Ramsey on Aronson is a great tackle.
And a yellow card into the bargain as well. So free kick to Leeds United over on that far side, and he gets the ball. You're right, Clinton. He does. Leeds weren't happy, but they played on. They have on a free kick over on the far side, and as you say, Bailey just nudging into Strout there. Clear body check.
Typical striker's tackle. Vicky. I don't want to run back, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to foul the fullback.
So Leeds free kick over on the far side, goalless still here on 5 Live in the first half at Ellen Road as we approach half-time. Leeds not happy with some of the decisions that have gone against them as they swing the free kick in. It's poor, it's all the way through for an Aston Villa goal kick.
Yeah, and Harrison's got his hands out to say someone should be going around the back post. I think it's a good ball into the box.
But it is to no avail for Leeds United, and Emi Martinez earning the wrath of Ellen Road as he just moves the ball from one corner of the 6-yard box to the other. But there is more intent, there is more purpose. Yes, Martinez is still taking his time over these goal kicks, but there's more intent from Aston Villa going forward.
There is, because at the start I was thinking now they're coming there for a draw, but there is more intent now. Everything they're trying to do quicker, because there's a chance they could come here and beat Leeds. There is a chance of that. No, Leeds have been a better team, but you are right, Vicky, more intent so far from Villa.
Harrison muscled out of it, will be won by Adams. Villa appealing for the throw, but it goes the way of Leeds, and Adams will leave it to Christensen. I wonder if Steven Gerrard in his defence would say, you know what, we tried to take the sting out of Leeds in the first half of this half, and now we are stepping up and we're starting to play a little bit more freely. Stuart Atwell arcs his body back to get out of the way as the ball slid through to Watkins. Good save by Meslier, smothering the ball and cleared behind by Koch for a corner, but that was incisive from Villa.
That was brilliant, to be fair. Good run from Watkins and good ball from Ashley Young. Really, you can see Steven Gerrard angry. I feel Watkins, he gets into that position. Can he dink Meslier? But it's a good save from Meslier in goal. Yeah, he was a bit too tight. It's good goalkeeping. He comes out and narrows the angle.
Yeah, dealt with the danger well there. How will he deal with the danger that Villa will pose from this set piece? John McGinn has gone over to take it. The 6-yard box not so packed this time. The black shirts are grouped around just to the left of the penalty spot. Instead, Mings is up there, Conser, Coutinho as well. As McGinn sends the delivery in, but again, cleared away by Leeds with first contact and Rodrigo. Sinisterra gets the touch to Aronson, who is challenged by Ashley Young. He's gone down again, Aronson, and this time the free kick does go the way of the Leeds man.
Yeah, that is a foul. Aronson should have got his head up since Thierry was in on the left-hand side, but it's clever from Ashley Young. He saw there was a break on and used all his experience and took the foul, and then acted very clever, like he didn't hear the whistle, and kicked the ball away.
So Leeds in possession, preparing to take this free kick just outside the centre circle. Here is Rocker over the halfway line. It's intercepted and will now be picked up by Villa and John McGinn out to the right hand side, and Leon Bailey down the right wing. Cooper is there trying to shepherd him away, and he does force him towards the halfway line, and Sinisterra gets a foot in, Cooper does as well, and Leeds will bring the ball away. Urged forward by Ellen Road. Here is Tyler Adams out to the left-hand side now, and Strout. Leeds still just inside their own half, plays it forward now to Sinisterra, taking on Conser. Sinisterra almost getting the better of Conser, who stands up well on the edge of his own penalty area, and now Strout urged to cross the ball in. The Leeds fans still urging him to do so, but he slowed the play down. Strout, clever ball through to Rocker, now down by the byline. Strout now will send in the delivery. Harrison is in there, headed away well by Augustinson for Villa, who will clear up towards halfway, 0-0.
No, yeah, it's good from Leeds, and the Leeds fans are urging them to get forward, because if they think if you play up the tempo, it can cause Aston Villa problems. But Sinisterra, he's the key for me on that left-hand side. It does look a bit tired, to be fair. As you said, a lot of travelling, but one bit of magic, he can win the game for Leeds.
Miscontrol over on the far side, and Strout won't keep it in, and Aston Villa will have a throw just inside the Leeds half. 2 minutes plus added time to play at the end of this first half. Well, I think we always had a lot to live up to after the game at the Etihad, didn't we, Clinton?
Oh yeah,
but,
we'll get goals. Don't worry, Vic, we'll get goals, but we were never going to get the amount of goals that were at the Etihad, that's for sure, because there's no Haalands or Phil Fodens on the pitch.
Yep, hat-tricks for both of those. We'll hear from Haaland at half-time on 5 Live. 6-3 Manchester City beating Manchester United. And although there was only the 3 goals in it in terms of scoreline, it was an absolutely dominant performance from Pep Guardiola's side. Catch the highlights on Match of the Day 2 from 10:30 this evening. And fair to say, I think we know which match will be starting.
Yeah.
Match of the Day 2 this evening. But it's been a decent encounter here, 0-0. As Strout plays the ball in straight into the arms of Emi Martinez. And the quality, though, from Leeds' forward line has just ebbed out of their play in the last 10 minutes or so.
It has. It's the deliveries into the box. You have to give your centre forward a chance. But when they are putting balls into the box, that is where Rodrigo, for me, is not a natural number 9. I think he's a number 10, where you need someone like a Patrick Bamford.
Well, he is on the bench, Bamford. He is an option for Leeds, as is their new signing, Wilfred Gnonto, Italy's youngest ever goal scorer. They've got Crescencio Somerville as well. No Joe Gerrard. Jesse Marsch saying that he just didn't quite make the squad today, but we did see him out doing some one-on-one work with one of the coaches. So whether there are any lingering fitness concerns for Gerrard, we wait to see if there's any further news on that. But Jesse Marsch saying he just didn't make the squad today, but you would expect him to be on the bench, Gerrard, if he was available.
Definitely.
But there you go. Liam Cooper wins the header for Leeds, but they've lost possession, and here comes Jacob Ramsey, pulls it back to Bailey just outside the penalty area, straight into the arms of Meslier. Lovely move by Aston Villa, but it's still 0-0.
It's just moments, to be fair, because it's a good run from Ramsey, but it's 4-on-2. If Bailey gets his head up, he can slide it to Watkins or Coutinho, and Coutinho's proper frustrated there, throwing his hands in the air because he wants the ball, he wants to make things happen, but it's good play from Aston Villa again.
So throw to Leeds, midway through their own half, the right-hand side. Leon Bailey, who has scored twice already this season for Villa, already doubled his tally from last campaign. Straight at Meslier on that occasion. Into 3 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half at Ellen Road. 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service, but it's Villa who are pressing as Liam Cooper intercepts importantly, otherwise Watkins was in. Lovely turn by Ramsey, better turn by Rocker, who's challenged by Ramsey. He just didn't release the ball quickly enough there, the Leeds man. And Villa coming forward again, finishing this half strongly. Coutinho tried to pull it back across. Adams is back there defending, cleared away by Koch. Aronson, though, is dispossessed by his number 7 counterpart, John McGinn. And McGinn will play it into trouble, though. Rocker helps it forward to Sinisterra, and here he goes, the Colombian, over the halfway line. Spreads it out to the right-hand side, and Harrison, midway through the Aston Villa half, plays the ball into the penalty area, looking for Rodrigo, brings it down, and Martinez makes the save. Foul. It is the whistle in the end. It's one of those where there's a little push from Rodrigo. Initially, they let the play continue, but had Martinez not made that save, I think that goal, as we saw with the whistle going, would have been ruled out.
Yeah,
anyway.
Definitely. Rodrigo just a nudge in the back on Konza, and Atwell makes the right decision, but Aston Villa have a problem. Augustinson, who came in, the left back who's been bought, looks like Vicky, he's feeling his hamstring, and there you go, there's no one near him, he's feeling his hamstring. They're already short, so they're going to probably have to bring on someone like Bednarak, but then who goes to left back? They've not, I don't think, if you look on Villa's bench, they have a natural fullback on the bench.
Yeah, that's the struggle for Aston Villa. Matty Cash not available, out injured. Luca Digne not available, out injured. The challenge for Steven Gerrard, and Augustinson making his Villa debut. It may come to a premature end. We are deep in added time. There will be a little bit more, but Emi Martinez has come across it. It's one of those, if it's a hamstring, there's no point even, you can't try and run it off until half time.
He hasn't been playing a lot of football in the Premier League, as you said. It's his first game, getting up to speed. It's been an intense game, and I can see Bednarek now taking off his warm-up jumper, so it looks like he'll be coming on, and it's just who goes to left back. Does he put Mings left back or does he put Konsa left back, or does he go to a free? Could change the shape completely.
Or bring Ashley Young over there, and Bednarak's played at right back before,
there you go.
So could
Great shout,
do
Vicky.
that.
Ashley Young will come to left back, and I think Bednarak will go to right back, or Konza. Bednarak or Konza. I think that's a great shout.
They're options, and they're places, it's places where these players have filled in before, but it's not ideal at all,
it's not ideal, because you disrupt. If you think about it, looking at Villa's back four, if Bednarak does come on, it's a completely, because the regulars would be Cash, Digne and Carlos if he was fit, and that's a different back line, but it's not ideal, but you have to manage it.
For Bednarak as well, yes, he's filled in at right back, but centre half is his natural position. Well, we'll see what happens. It will be an Aston Villa debut for Jan Bednarak if he does come on, and he is about to indeed. So the debut for Ludvig Augustinsson, the Sweden fullback, ending in disappointment, not able to continue, and Jan Bednarak, on loan from Southampton, will enter the field of play. And I guess the only positive for Aston Villa is there are moments left to play. We've played the 3 minutes at a time at the end of this first half. There will be a little bit more, but they just need to get through to half time now, Villa, and then they can have a proper conversation about exactly how this back line is going to work.
But I think you're right, Vicky, you're spot on. Konza's gone right back, and Bednarak and Mings centre half, and Ashley Young left back.
Young's come over to left back. So they do have that flexibility, the centre half's filling in at full back, but it is very much filling in now as Augustinsson makes his way off. He wants to watch until the end of half time. He's not straight down the tunnel, he's in the technical area at the moment, Augustinsson. But a debut for Aston Villa for Bednarak as Watkins goes down. Advantage played by Stuart Atwell. John McGinn plays the ball forward. It's a very good ball forward as well. Cooper trying to get in there, and the miscue from Jacob Ramsey just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Leeds survive just. They played the ball over the halfway line. It's poor. It's through to Martinez, but another big chance for Aston Villa as we come to the end of this first half.
It's a brilliant chance. The ball from John McGinn's outstanding. He plays it into Ramsey. Ramsey takes it ever so well. Meslier doesn't. He kind of comes and then stops, and I think Ramsey thinks he's going to make contact. If he swings at it or gets ahead on it, he puts it into the back of the net. But good play again from Aston Villa. They don't want half time now, Vicky. They've been the better team over the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, they've turned it around in this match, Villa. It's still 0-0 here on 5 Live in the World Service, but the way that Leeds started in the opening 20 minutes, I mean, 20 minutes ago we said, didn't we, if Villa don't sort themselves out, Leeds are going to take the lead, and since then Villa have.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've been the better team, you're right.
Overall, you take both halves of the first half, an even game so far, and that's why it's 0-0, but Villa finishing strongly take Atwell, but I think he's just coming over to make sure that Ashley Young is okay. Tyler Adams reaches out the hand of friendship, trying to pull Ashley Young to his feet. Young's having none of it. He's just gingerly getting to his knees, and Rasmus Christensen is asking Stuart Atwell what the decision will be. It is a Leeds throw. Young's back up to his feet, and we will be underway very shortly. 0-0. We've played the added time, a little bit more for the injury to Ludvig Augustinsson of Aston Villa. But that is it. 0-0 at half-time, boos around Ellen Road. But I think more from their perspective for the officials rather than their team's performance. But you have to say, Leeds lost their way a little bit at the end of that first half.
Yeah, they were the better team for the first 20-25 minutes. And Aston Villa, you were thinking, have they come here to get a draw? Because they weren't on the front foot. Get your big players like Coutinho, Ollie Watkins, Ramsey into the game. And they did that in the last 10 or 15 minutes. And they were probably the better team. But I think 0-0 is a fair result. It's lacked quality in the final third.
The challenge for Villa now then is already lacking big players, as we mentioned before this match, with Augustinsson going off. It's how this new look back line deals with a Leeds side who you would think Jesse Marsch will be pacing it down from the press box into the dressing room now to give the half-time team talk, which he's allowed to do despite this touchline ban, which just means he can't be in the dugout, but he can go and talk to the team. And surely he'll say, look, you know, Villa have had to make a change. It's already not a first choice back line for them. Let's pick up that tempo that we started this match with.
No, you're spot on. He'll be saying that it's a different back four. Let's go and have a go at them. And he could make changes after 15-20 minutes. He's got a lot of options on the bench.
So back shortly at Ellen Road for the second half, but for now let's head to Henry Moran at the cricket.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, midway stage in the cricket as well. The final T20 between England and Pakistan, the series level. 3 matches all. England, good effort in the first innings. Asked to bat first by Pakistan, 209 for 3. David Malan unbeaten on 78. Harry Brook, 23 years old, increasingly looking like a key member of this England batting unit as we head towards next month's World Cup. He finished on 46, not out. 4 big sixes in there as well. Phil Salt and Alex Hales, 20 and 18 respectively. And Ben Duckett making 30. So Pakistan will have a target of 210 as they look to seal victory in what has been a thrilling 7-match series. Away from the cricket and the football, in the Formula One, Red Bull's Sergio Perez held off Ferrari's Charles Leclerc to win an incident-packed Singapore Grand Prix run in treacherous wet, dry conditions. Sergio Perez spoke afterwards to Paul Di Resta.
The last few laps was so intense. I didn't feel it that much in the car, but when I got out of it, I felt it. You know, I pushed. I gave everything for the win today.
You're under investigation for a safety car infringement. Are you aware of what happened? I know the team told you to make sure you extended the gap, but do you know anything you did wrong?
No, I have no idea what's going on. They just told me that I was under investigation, so increase the gap, and it's what we did.
And obviously keeping the championship alive.
Obviously, I think it's nicer for Max to get it in Japan, and for the team, will be very special for Honda. Yeah, all in all, a fantastic day.
Well, Lewis Hamilton finished 9th, whilst championship leader Max Verstappen finished 7th, but does have a chance to win the title next Sunday in Japan. Look out for all the reaction on the Checkered Flag podcast on BBC Sounds. What a day at Longchamp for trainer Sir Mark Prescott. The 74-year-old trained the winner of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe as Alpinista took the honours in Paris. John Hunt back with us. John, he has been waiting an awfully long time for this.
He has, yes indeed, Henry. He spoke this afternoon after victory for Alpinista of some small regret that he was never able to win a British Classic. However, he's trained some wonderful horses, a lot of them race mares as well, like Alpinista, namely Albarada, Red Camellia, Marsha, the sprinter, a brilliant sprinter from a few years ago, and French Oaks winner Confidential Lady. But this victory topped the lot. Alpinista was always travelling strongly in the muddy conditions and eventually held on gamely to beat Vadeni, the French Derby winner, and last year's winner Torquato Tasso, who finished 3rd this time around. And in the press conference afterwards, Sir Mark Prescott was asked quite simply, was this the best moment of his racing life so far?
It's the best day of my racing life. I always thought that the best day of my racing life, I rode a winner on my first ride when I was 15 or 16. I haven't won an English Classic race. I'm very ashamed of it, but I'm very proud of having won today. I've trained for Mr. Housing for 36 years, and Luke's been with me 11 years. It's hard to imagine a better day if you're a racehorse trainer, so thank you all very much.
Yes, the Luke he referred to, of course, Luke Morris, the winning jockey, his biggest success as well. And Sir Mark Prescott also added that he's now seriously thinking about sending Alpinista to the Far East to contest this November's Japan Cup, where she could put herself in line for a £3 million bonus. Since the Arc, Henry, there's been a lot of British success as well to report. Let's tell you a bit about that. Holly Doyle was agonisingly beaten in the dying strides of the Prix de l'Opera aboard Nashua this afternoon. A 66-1 chance Place du Carrousel grabbed her near the line, but Holly enjoyed almost instant compensation as the Platinum Queen won the day's big sprint for Richard Fahey, the Prix de l'Abbé, and that in front of the 18-strong ownership syndicate Midland Park Racing. And it's obviously nearly impossible to keep Frankie Dettori out of the limelight. He was third in the Arc aboard Tarkato Tasso. He won the Prix de la Forêt a few moments ago aboard Kinross, giving trainer Rafe Beckett a second Group 1 victory in 8 days, following Lazou's victory in Newmarket's Cheveley Park Stakes.
John, thank you very much indeed. A couple of other bits of sports news to let you know about. There's been NFL at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this afternoon, the first of the London Series games currently ongoing. Minnesota Vikings 25, New Orleans Saints 25 in the fourth quarter. And if you've never seen the time lapse of how they turn it from a football stadium to an American football stadium, do have a look for that. It's absolutely extraordinary. In the Rugby Union, big win for Harlequins in the Premiership. They beaten Northampton 35 points to 29. And New Zealand's Ryan Fox has won the Dunhill Links Championship at St Andrews. He shot to final round 68 to win by a shot from Alexander Noren. Maury McIlroy finished in a tie for fourth. Before the second half at Ellen Road, we'll hear from Erling Haaland after his history-making day at the Etihad. That's after the news with Lisa McCormick.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Liz Truss has acknowledged that she should have laid the ground better for her mini-budget, which sparked days of turbulence on the financial markets. The Prime Minister stood by her package of tax cuts, but some of her own MPs have criticised the plans, including the former Cabinet Minister Michael Gove.
Two major things that were problematic with the fiscal event. The first is the sheer risk of using borrowed money to fund tax cuts. That is not conservative. And then the second thing is the decision to cut the 45 pence rate, the headline tax move, cutting tax for the wealthiest. That is a display of the wrong values.
An investigation's underway into a stampede at a football stadium in Indonesia which killed at least 125 people. Police fired tear gas at fans who invaded the pitch, prompting crowds to rush to the exits. The Deputy General of Indonesia's Football Association, Maikai Ira Puspita, says measures were implemented a few months ago to try to avoid such disasters.
Back in July, we had conducted a workshop between the security officers with all of the 18 clubs in the first division. And then we passed on the regulation, the competition regulation. And then, of course, this was shared with the police. They all know the protocols and the procedures. So all of these preventive measures have already conducted, and we are evaluating this until now.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg says the liberation of a town in eastern Ukraine demonstrates that Kyiv is able to push back against Russian forces. Earlier, President Zelensky declared that Lyman, which was annexed by President Putin on Friday, had been completely cleared of Moscow's forces after a successful counter-offensive. And Buckingham Palace has confirmed that King Charles won't attend the COP27 climate change conference in Egypt next month after a newspaper claimed that Liz Truss had ordered him not to. The palace says advice had been sought by the King and given by the Prime Minister.
Tonight, sorted.
You don't work with me, you work for me.
You don't have to like someone for them to be useful to you. All new on BBC iPlayer.
The bit that makes sense about this job is living it.
Watch Industry on BBC iPlayer. More live Premier League football than anyone else.
5 Live's Premier League Sunday.
With Steve Crossman.
But only just because of the traffic getting back from the Etihad. Henry Moran, thank you so much for filling in there.
Any time at all.
It says a lot about your fitness when I've been sitting here for 5 minutes. I haven't got my breath yet.
Oh, don't worry, I walked down the stairs and it took me at least 10 minutes to feel like I was vaguely in the sort of shape to do anything.
Oh, there's always someone in a worse position. Good to know. Henry will keep us across the cricket. Obviously, we're talking football as well. Second half on the way from Ellen Road. But obviously, the big story today is Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. 3 for Haaland, 3 for Foden, Anthony and 2 for Anthony Martial for Manchester United. 85058 is the text number. 606 is coming up after the game at Ellen Road. 08085 909 693. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. Chris is with us. Afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, Steve.
I mean, you're not going to be shy of talking points after that.
No, I don't think we will. I mean, what a game, really. Going into it, I think everybody was thinking, can Manchester United give Manchester City a game? I didn't think so before the game, but when you look back at Manchester United's last 4 league results, you know, they've won 4. Has that given United fans false hope, or did it give United fans false hope going into the game? But they were embarrassing, United were. I thought they really bottled it in the first half, Steve. I have to say, just long balls up the pitch. City, however good they were, if you're a United fan, you are embarrassed, ashamed by that performance today, aren't you?
Cut through them at will, particularly in that first half. Let's hear from Erling Haaland, the main man. Here he is with Guy Mowbray.
Erling, congratulations. 3 hat-tricks in 3 home games. That is some achievement. Have you ever been close to that before?
No, I don't think so. I never did that before, and it's amazing.
How is the confidence? How are you feeling in yourself before every game at the moment?
No, confidence is good. It's always been good. After we played against Liverpool in the Community Shield, it was still good after. I think it was just good that this match happened, that I got a kind of... that something happened and I have to be a bit more ready, you know. So confidence has always been good.
And tell us what it's like to make your debut in the Manchester Derby. What has the whole experience been like for you today?
Yeah, it's been good. I felt it a couple of days before the game that something special is going to happen, and we saw today some special things happened, and it was nice.
We know what it's like for fans, and you are one, but what is it like for players? Is there that genuine extra intensity in the build-up to the game?
Yeah, it is. On Friday I felt it, the whole training ground, and it's these games I want to play. This is the best games, you know, where it's a bit more extra, this and that, you know, so it's nice.
And it may sound a bit daft, you've just scored 6 goals as a team. Should there have been more today?
Yeah, it could have been more, and we should have been... second half we should have been tighter, you know, worked a bit more harder because it was a bit sloppy at times. And the second half, I think it was... what was the score in the second half?
3-2 for them.
Yeah, you know, we lost the second half and this is not good, so we still have to work.
Yeah, one of those days. Chris, I remember you, this is ages ago now, I think you were talking about Alan Shearer, and you said one of the things you loved about Alan Shearer is that whenever he missed a chance to look at him or speak to him, you would never know it, because it just didn't bother him. Well, I don't think anything bothers Erling Haaland.
No, absolutely. Confidence after 3 hat-tricks in 3 games. Pretty good, I suppose. But, I mean, he's a freak, isn't he? Alan Shearer was a freak in terms of mental strength and finishing ability. I mean, if Erling Haaland hangs around, I mean, Shearer's record is going to go. And I never thought that would be broken. I know Harry Kane is sort of pushing. I'm not sure he's going to get there, but he's just incredible, isn't he? And actually, I thought a weaker area of the game, believe it or not, was with his head. Brilliant header he scored today, but this guy has got the absolute lot, hasn't he?
The other records, not just the all-time Premier League record, which people will already be talking about, 34 in a single Premier League season, which is Shearer shares that with Andy Cole. He's got 14 already. We're talking Dixie Dean territory, aren't we?
Yeah.
Did you hear that earlier? 60 goals in a season in the 20s?
Yeah, well, Savage, who normally talks a lot of rubbish, he said he'd get 51.
It's very specific.
I mean, that's
say
not,
50.
Yeah. 50. But that's not ridiculous, is it? It's you know, if he stays fit, that's really feasible, isn't it? I mean, I wonder what Manchester City fans think.
And I wonder what Wolves fans are thinking today, Chris, with Bruno Lage sacked.
909 693 and with perfect timing, the teams are just leaving the tunnel at Ellen Road. Second half commentary. The second commentary of this Premier League Sunday, Leeds and Aston Villa. Clinton Morrison is with Vicky Sparks.
Thanks, Steve. Welcome back to Ellen Road as both sets of players make their way onto the pitch. Leeds in all white, Villa in their changed all black kit with the yellow bands around the top of the socks. And we were talking off air at half time there, Clinton Morrison alongside me. One word that both of us want to see in this second half: intensity.
Yeah, there's not enough intensity. There's a lot of needle, but there's no intensity and not enough quality. The game's been, we've tried to make it sound as good as we can, Vicky, but being honest, it's lacked quality massively, and it shouldn't lack quality because it's two teams that should be doing better than they are at the start of the season. So both managers will want improvement.
Well, we're underway in this second half. No changes at half time for Aston Villa or Leeds, although Villa forced into that change in the first half, having to bring on Jan Bednarak for the injured Ludvig Augustinsson, making his debut but coming off just before half time through injury. So Leeds, it is in possession, playing from right to left as Louise wins the header for Aston Villa. The ball cleared away by Leeds, but it's a poor one and it will go all the way back to Emi Martinez. I was speaking to Match of the Day's commentator Martin Fisher at half time, and he said he thinks a red card might be more likely than a goal. Potentially.
And that says it all about the game. All it has been a fiery game with no quality whatsoever. Let's hope there's a bit more action in the second half.
Things can only get better, and we should confirm just before half time there was a booking over on the far side of the pitch. Leon Bailey with the foul. The booking actually went to Rodrigo of Leeds for dissent, so free kick went to Leeds, but Rodrigo into the book rather than Leon Bailey. And as Leeds knock it around at the back, let's head to the cricket. Henry Moran.
England have got two early wickets, really important wickets as well. Babar Azam, the Pakistan captain, has been caught by Brook off the bowling for Wokes for 4, and Reece Topley with a really good delivery, a sizzling Yorker on the toes of Rizwan, bowling him for just 1, and 5 for 2 the Pakistan score, chasing 210.
Thanks, Henry. Commentary over on Radio 5 Sports Extra as Leeds have it still at the back. It has gone up to the halfway line and then back again while we were away with Henry at the cricket, but so far not quite seen the intensity that we were hoping for. But Ellen Road trying to rouse their side. 0-0 early stages of this second half. So Leeds with Melier in goal, the back four: Christensen, Koch, Cooper and Strauch. Ahead of them is Adams and Rocker, with Sinisterra, Aronson and Harrison supporting Rodrigo up front. And Ellen Road growing a little bit impatient because Leeds still haven't got their ball out of their own half. They will now with Strauch over the halfway line, plays it forward looking for Aronson. Good interception by Bednarek. And Villa though work the ball forwards. Ramsey is brought down and it will be a free kick to Aston Villa, who have Martinez in goal. The back four now of Concert, Bednarek, Mings and Young.
Oh, he's sending him off. He's sending off Sinisterra because he...
Oh, this is huge for Leeds.
But he kicks the ball at him, Douglas Luiz.
Yellow.
He don't know what he's doing.
Sinisterra, and it's a red. Leeds are down to 10. Luis Sinisterra sent off in the opening 3 minutes of this second half, and he is absolutely aghast.
Now he don't know what he's doing. Look, he's speaking to the fourth official, Stuart Atwell. He didn't even want to send him off because he didn't know what he was doing. Douglas Luiz has kicked it at him, so I don't know if he is going to send him off. And he's decided he's going to do that. Well, now he's checking with VAR in his ear.
VAR can't intervene
they
for
can't
a second
intervene.
Yellow
exactly.
card.
It's only
if it's
a red
straight
card.
red, they can. If it's mistaken identity, but it's not. But it's one of those where Louise is trying to take the free kick quickly. Jesse Marsch in the stands. They just cut away to him here, serving the touchline ban. He's sitting in the press box. He's absolutely, he looks absolutely gutted. And it's one of these, Louise has been clever. To be fair,
he does
Sinisterra
he sticks his foot up.
his leg,
and
he's given Stuart Atwell the decision to make.
To send him off. Yeah, Stuart Atwell makes the right decision because he takes it quickly, but he does stick his leg up. If he doesn't stick his leg up, I don't think he sends him off, Vicky.
And that's it. It's one of these you see all the time.
Yeah.
Players trying to be cute. They take the free kick quickly. Yes, Louise was trying to get Sinisterra, but you're right, Clinton. It's the lifting of the leg.
Lifting of the leg.
Sinisterra does.
Yeah.
Leeds down to 10. You're not fit to referee as the crowd ringing around Ellen Road. They will take that sense of they feel injustice. But as we've said, Clinton, he just cannot do that. Sinisterra.
No, he can't do it. You're spot on. I don't know why he's sticking his leg up. Listen, Doug Luiz has took a quick one. If he hits Aronson, I get that because he's 2 yards away. But Sinisterra is 5 yards away, sticks his leg up. He's just, if he leaves his leg and it does hit him, I don't think he sends him off.
A moment of ill-advised recklessness from Sinisterra, knowing that he was on a yellow card. He has been such a star for Leeds, the Colombian, since arriving in the summer, but he's blotted his copybook here, and Villa now with the man advantage coming forward. Leon Bailey's ball into the area, it's met on the volley off the post, and then the back heel acrobatic effort wide from Ollie Watkins. What a wonderful passage of play from Aston Villa. Fabulous down the left-hand side. Initially the effort off the post from Coutinho, that was fabulous enough, and Ollie Watkins on the follow-up just can't adjust his body shape and sends it wide from 6 yards.
The ball in from Bailey's first class. The actually side foot volley from Coutinho is outstanding. It deserves a goal, and Ollie Watkins just can't sort his feet out quick enough and pokes it wide of the post, but the technique from Coutinho is outstanding.
Villa rattling the woodwork. Villa so unlucky from that attack not to take the lead against the 10 men of Leeds United. Can finish off the Villa team. Ramsey, Luiz and McGinn in midfield, Bailey, Coutinho and Watkins up top. And now it's got to be about going for the win for Aston Villa. At times they have looked to their defensive solidity. Steven Gerrard, after they scored 6 goals in 2 games against Leeds last season, saying we know if we attack this team we can cause some problems. Can we be defensively solid as well? For much of the first half we saw that focus from Villa, but now it's got to be attack, and it's got to be trying to make Leeds pay for that moment of madness from Sinisterra. Leon Bailey coming forward for Villa, won't find Ramsey. Leeds will tidy up on the edge of their own penalty area. Well, they're not happy, the Leeds fans. I'm sure Jesse Marsch isn't happy. Perhaps good he's not on the touchline, might have got himself another red card.
Yeah.
And Leeds will say, look, it's cynical from Luiz. You wonder whether Stuart Atwell would have gone for the yellow card as quickly had he remembered that Sinisterra had been booked. But maybe he did, because you can say, look, you don't raise your leg and try and stop that free kick, as Watkins picks it up inside the penalty area. Left-hand side now, 0-0 here on 5 Live in the World Service. Coutinho plays it back out to the left to Ashley Young. Lovely work between Watkins and Coutinho. Coutinho then blocked off. Watkins still going.
Offside.
Flag's gone up on the near side. The offside flag eventually, and Ollie Watkins is saying what's going on there. Well, Villa, I think, might have felt that they could potentially have had a free kick in and around the penalty area before the flag went up. But the flag is lifted and it will be a free kick to Leeds. And now it's Illan Mellier's turn to take some time over these goals.
Yeah, he's going to have to be fair. I'd be getting Patrick Bamford ready, because Rodrigo's a person who doesn't really want to run in behind, and I feel you need someone to run in behind and hold the ball up, and I think Bamford would be the perfect man when you go down to 10 men, because it's going to be difficult for Leeds to get up the pitch now.
7 minutes gone in this second half, 0-0, but a scoreline now that Leeds would surely take. Sinisterra sent off 4 minutes into the second half. Second yellow card for stopping a quick free kick taken by Douglas Luiz. And the referee, by the letter of the law, perfectly entitled to show him the second yellow. It was foolish from Sinisterra to do it on a yellow card. And the quick thinking, cynical play perhaps, but we've seen it so often from Douglas Luiz and so often through players of multiple teams. Sinisterra can't have that excuse.
No,
Aston Villa with a free kick deep in Leeds territory, right-hand side.
When you're on a yellow card, you can't do anything. So I don't even know why he's lifting up his leg. And you could say, yeah, Douglas Luiz trying to take a quick one. And I know it's your natural reaction to stop it, but you can't when you've been booked, because you make the referee's easy decision.
So free kick to Aston Villa. John McGinn stands over it as Stuart Atwell, to a mild chorus of boos around Ellen Road, draws the line. The one player Leeds wall. McGinn stands over this, hands on hips, the Aston Villa captain. It's a crowded penalty area. McGinn will slice it in left-footed. It's cleared away, well read by Christensen. There's nobody up there for Leeds, and it will be played all the way back by Ashley Young to Emmy Martinez. 0-0 on 5 Live and the World Service here at Ellen Road. Christensen just allows that to bounce for Leeds. who are in possession now with Robin Koch, and now Christensen out to the right-hand side. Here is Adams in field to Rocker, and Adams once more, now back to Koch. Leeds just enjoying a bit of possession, trying to make Aston Villa run around a bit with the man disadvantage that Leeds have. Aronson goes down on the far side, he's furious. The USA international, he wants a free kick, so does Ellen Rhodes. Stuart Atwell says no. And Tyrone Mings under pressure, plays it all the way back to Emi Martinez, who's well closed down there by Harrison and Leeds. You can just feel the tempo rising once more, their players closing down. Leeds are down to 10, and that's a bit of a side there on the halfway line. Aston Villa will have a free kick, and Leeds have to keep their discipline here. They've already lost one player.
That's a booking though, Vicky. Don't think because he's made a red card and the fans are baying for him, Stuart Atwell. Ollie Watkins turns him, he just swipes him, Robin Koch. It's a booking. Don't make because you've already sent someone off. Play the game properly, referee, and Leeds can't lose their heads.
Well, he's not on a yellow, Koch, so it wouldn't be a second red for Leeds. It is just a talking to from Stuart Atwell, and again Aronson's there, he's protesting Liam Cooper as the captain, as is his right, has come up to talk to Stuart Atwell, but they just can't afford this, Leeds. They've got to stay focused. Yes, they're frustrated, yes, they've lost a player early on in this second half, but at 0-0 they still have something to hold on to here, even if it's just a point.
No, you're right. If Villa don't go and win, it is difficult against 10 men sometimes, but Villa do look better with their 11. But they'll be disappointed if they don't go and win this game, Aston Villa.
More roars of frustration as John McGinn wins another deserved free kick for Aston Villa, and he's done that well drawing the fouls this afternoon, the Villa captain.
Yeah, he has. He always does it. He uses his body ever so well.
They're getting things moving quickly. Here is Ashley Young, back to McGinn, 25 yards out. Coutinho, lovely footwork, central position, 20 yards out. Lays it off to Young, plays the ball across, blocked behind by Christensen for the corner.
Yeah, he's brilliant. But Coutinho's come alive in the second half. He's been brilliant. He's unlucky not to score with that volley, and he's such a good footballer, to be fair. I just want to see the best of him this season. We haven't seen it so far, but he looks good this afternoon.
So corner to Villa, talking points coming thick and fast now. At Ellen Road, that acrobatic effort from Coutinho, hitting the post. Sinisterra's red card. Have your say on 6:06 this evening. Follows our commentary here at Ellen Road. Corner to Aston Villa on the far side, packed 6-yard box, and the header is over by a Leeds defender, and it will go out for another Villa corner, and he's trying it again from that far side.
Yeah,
Douglas Luiz going direct for goal.
He is. He's trying to whip it in Vic straight away, but he is. But Leeds have got defenders in front of them.
They played it short this time. Villa, just Harrison over there for Leeds as Luiz sends it in. It's a punch by Meslier. It's not convincing. Gets it away for the goal for now. Ramsey back in, and that's a better take by Meslier, who dives on the ball. It was easy enough in truth. He dealt with it, but just nothing is coming easily for the Leeds goalkeeper. And now for Leeds, with Sinisterra's red card in this second half.
Yeah, it's got a mountain to climb. It's going to be difficult. It is, but the pressure's on Aston Villa, because when a team goes down to 10 men, you're meant to break them down, and it is difficult sometimes. But Leeds have to stay in the game and keep defending like they have done.
Junior Firpo, back from injury, is preparing to come on for Leeds, ready and waiting in the technical area as Leeds try and retain possession on halfway. Strout won't keep that in. And it's a throw to Aston Villa, and the substitution will now be made, and Mark Rocker is being sacrificed. Junior Firpo coming on after Sinisterra's red card, just to give Leeds that little bit more presence and shoring up that defensive line.
Yeah, he's not happy, Rocco, though. He's not happy coming off, but he has to understand they're down to 10 men. They need to strengthen up the defence.
So Firpo, back from injury, makes his first appearance of the season. And we're underway once more. 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service between Leeds and Aston Villa. Leeds down to 10. 13 minutes gone in this second half. Villa with the ball on halfway. Played forward, looking for the run of Ramsey, but it's poor. It's all the way through to Meslier. And this is where Jesse Marsch, sitting down there in that press box, I'm sure will be so frustrated that because of this touchline ban, he can't be down in the dugout, because when you are up against it, when there are 10 players, we talk about the tactics, and yes, they'll have worked on that, of course, during the week, and he talked about just putting the game plan into practice when he's not there on top of them. But it is also his passion that does add to Leeds, particularly at Ellen Road, in the dugout, on the touchline, as long as he keeps it in check.
Yeah, they will need him now. When they've gone down to 10 men, you need your manager, and he would be kicking every ball. So this is where they miss him, and this is where the assistant has to step up. He doesn't look like he's a bit of a ranter and a raver like Jesse Marsch, but that's what you need now. You need everyone to galvanise, and you need these fans to play a big part as well.
Yeah, René Maric, the assistant manager, down there in the dugout as Leeds come forward. Firpo taking up an attacking position here. Down on that left-hand side as Leeds clear the ball away. Villa will pick it up with Ramsey. Forward now to Watkins, lays it off to Bailey. Back to Watkins, very well read by Pascal Struijk, who comes across, and Firpo will clear away. Aston Villa trying to pick it up on the halfway line. Rodrigo gets a foot in. Douglas Luiz, nice little back heel. Just has enough on it to get through to Ezri Konsa, with Rodrigo chasing down. But Rodrigo and Aronson in particular have really upped the tempo in terms of their closing down. Here's another man who has for Villa, Coutinho to Young. And now Ramsey goes for goal, curls it over.
They're getting into good opportunities. They're finishing. They're being wasteful. I can see Steven Gerrard really bringing on someone like a Buendia and sacrificing one of the midfielders, because Villa is so on top at the moment, and when you're on top, you need to score.
But it is still 0-0. 15 minutes gone in this second half, and Meslier taking his time over this set piece. Interesting to see what Firpo is offering here. He usually does slot in at left back, but he's playing a little bit more advanced. Leeds look as though they're still sitting with the back four for now, although when they're in possession it's become a bit of a five, hasn't it? Struijk coming into that centre half position and Firpo pushing up. So Leeds have the options with the width to push forward as and when they need to, as the foul is made on the halfway line. And Aston Villa win the free kick, and Bednarik will take. The ball was moving there, but referee Stuart Atwell had turned his back, and Villa's still in their own half.
He must be listening to me, because Buendia looks like he's coming on. It's a game where you're going to dominate possession, that you need your technical players like the Buendias and the Coutinho.
Flag stays down for now. Ollie Watkins down to the byline, pulls the ball across. Flag eventually goes up. Meslier had dived on the ball anyway, and Clinton Morrison to my left has his head in his hands. You're not a fan of the delayed flag?
No,
there,
not someone could pick up an injury. Just pull it up. You know it's offside. He's not going to score from there. I know they want to let it go on. Just pull it up.
Well, they do have guidance this season in the Premier League that if it's not a clear attack or a clear goal scoring opportunity, you can flag a little bit more. But you know, we saw it with Philippe Coutinho, didn't we? Having the goal ruled out against Manchester City. It's sod's law, isn't it, for the officials? When you don't put the flag up, then it'll go against you, and when you do, then it'll go the other way, and it'll be onside.
No, it is hard. You are right. It is hard, and it's easier up here than what they've got down there. So yeah.
Aston Villa in possession. Here goes Ezri Konsa down the right-hand side. Harrison with a little nibble at his heels, and he knew Harrison. He's brought him down. He raised both hands as if to say, no, I didn't touch him. But it's a free kick to Aston Villa, wide right, midway through the Leeds half. 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service.
Yeah, and they're bringing on Buendia. It'd be interesting to see who comes off, and does Steven Gerrard really go for it and try and get the 3 points, or is it going to be a like-for-like change, either Bailey or Coutinho coming off?
What would you do?
I would sacrifice one of the midfielders, maybe Douglas Luiz. I would sacrifice Douglas Luiz and put on an extra attacking player and just drop Ramsey back alongside McGinn.
Well, let's see who it is. Buendia waiting to come on, but it looks as though Villa will take this free kick first. It's whipped and right-footed by Coutinho, cleared away by Leeds. Douglas Luiz wins the header for Villa on the edge of the penalty area, but Struijk is there and clears up towards the halfway line. 10-man Leeds 0, Aston Villa 0, as Martinez controls inside his penalty area, clears away. Poor clearance from Martinez, but Ramsey makes the first contact for Aston Villa, and here is Leon Bailey turning away from Firpo, goes down. Buendia waiting to come on, appeals for that. Harrison was caught, still going, but can't have the advantage, and Leon Bailey will go into the book for Aston Villa, and Leeds have the free kick.
That's the biggest cheer bit that we've heard all afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, the Ellen Road crowd certainly feel like they haven't got the rub of the green when it's come to decisions. And that is Leon Bailey's last action of this match. He is replaced by Emi Buendia. So,
yeah, like for like, to be fair, he don't probably want to go, all out to win. And then you're probably thinking, if he gives it another 15 minutes, does he bring on someone like a Danny Ings, or maybe, because he can score a goal, Danny Ings. It looks like Leeds are going to bring on Luke Ayling and Patrick Bamford. I can see getting stripped, I think, to come on, Vic.
So changes in the offing for Leeds, who swing the ball into the penalty area. Martinez came and collided with two players. He claims the ball. Koch is down for Leeds.
Ashley Young, yeah.
And Ashley Young is down for Aston Villa, and Stuart Atwell has stopped play because the two players are down clutching their heads. So the medical staff are on the pitch, just making sure that both players are all right. Young, indeed, is already up to his knees, but it's two of the Leeds medical staff who have come on to give some immediate attention to Robin Koch, who is now talking to them. So a chance for Steven Gerrard to gesture his players across, as he's doing now on the edge of his technical area, because Villa have a big opportunity here. Villa, who were unbeaten in their last two, they were starting to build a little bit of form, not just with the results but with performances as well before the international break, and they've got a real chance here. 0-0 at Ellen Road on 5 Live and the World Service, but Leeds down to 10. Sinisterra, the lively Colombian forward who's been in such good form for Leeds this season, sent off, second yellow card, 4 minutes into this second half for blocking a quick Douglas Luiz free kick. He gave the referee the option. Stuart Atwell took it. Villa will say absolutely justified. These fans weren't happy, but you have to question what was Sinisterra thinking, even just to put himself in that position. Leeds with the option as well to get their players over. Jesse Marsch, can't see him down there in the press box. We're up here on the gantry, but not sure he'll be bellowing his instructions, but he'll be on the phone. He'll be sending them through to his assistant, René Maric. If you're Jesse Marsch, if you're Leeds, if you're René Maric here, what do you do for the remainder of this match? We're approaching the midway of point of the second half.
I think you use your bench, and he's using it wisely. I think Ayling's energy will be good, and also Patrick Bamford. As I said, you just got to keep stay in the game, and a point's a good result against Aston Villa at home. Obviously, you would have wanted the 3 points, but going down to 10 men, now it's still 0-0. Hold on to something, and I think making a substitution and just stay compact. Don't go chasing the game, because you don't need to chase the game. And 0-0 is a good result.
Yep, double change, and you called it, Clinton. Luke Ayling and Patrick Bamford are preparing to come on for 10-man Leeds as Robin Koch gets back up to his feet and jogs over towards halfway. Little high five with Ashley Young, who's back up to his feet as well. No harm done. That collision between the pair of them. And Martinez is ready to play on for Aston Villa. Reminder, you can catch all the highlights of today's Premier League action on Match of the Day 2 from 10:30 this evening. The Manchester derby, what a match it was. Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. 0-0 here at Ellen Road between Leeds and Aston Villa. And a reminder, 6:06 after us. Get your call in now. 08085 909 693. As Aston Villa come forward with Buendia. It's just come onto the pitch, cleared away by Pascal Strout for Leeds and brought down now by Konsa on the halfway line. To Bednarak, and exchanges passes with Douglas Luiz, now square to Tyrone Mings. And Luiz once again just outside the centre circle. Aston Villa, who are looking to take advantage of 10-man Leeds United, as Firpo won't keep that in for Leeds, and the ball has gone out of play for a throw to Aston Villa. And Stuart Atwell will say, just wait a moment, because Leeds are ready to make this double change. So Luke Ayling is coming on for Rasmus Christensen. That was one of the big debates in terms of team selection before this match. Christensen getting the nod initially, but Ayling, so much experience is on. And Rodrigo and Bamford, that was the other debate, and that change is being made as well. Rodrigo back from that shoulder injury, off. Patrick Bamford's on.
Yeah, and the place erupts, obviously, because he is a good focal point. But you can understand, because it's difficult for Rodrigo, first game back, and yeah, these two will make a big difference to the Leeds team.
So 0-0 midway through the second half here on 5 Live and the World Service, as Aston Villa have it on halfway with Ashley Young and now Tyrone Mings. Bednarak is asking for it, on for his Aston Villa debut. Southampton loanee will play it out to the right hand side, and Konsa dinks it forward with the outside of his yellow boots to Jacob Ramsey, who pulls the ball across. And this is where we're seeing the organisation of Leeds. They're dropping into this back five. Ayling at right wing back, Firpo at left wing back, And they will, when they can, try and hit Villa on the counter, but Bamford's ball won't find Luke Ayling. He was wearing that black face mask. Leeds will pick it up again. No, Aronson this time does win the free kick. He was side down there. And Douglas Luiz just picking the ball up and heading the ball down into the pitch. Don't know if he wants to mess around with free kicks, given that he's managed to get Sinistera sent off for blocking one of his.
You need to be careful. You don't want to get yellow cards. But this game's been full of fouls, Vicky. Full of fouls. That's why there's been no quality in there. The momentum of the game's gone out, and it's just been more about how many fouls can you give away than enough quality on the pitch. The only quality we've seen is when Coutinho hits the post.
Yeah, brilliant effort by Coutinho early on in this second half. Watkins unable to finish the follow-up, trying the acrobatic effort but unable to adjust his body, and that is partly why it's still 0-0 here at Ellen Road. Free kick to Leeds, swung in from the right hand side. Bamford was in there and it was just ahead of the Leeds number 9 and bounces harmlessly behind.
That's what they're looking for, obviously getting set pieces, and can they score from a set piece? Can they cause Aston Villa problems? Nearly there, great ball in, and Bamford just couldn't get on the end of it.
Well, he hasn't scored since December, but has spent the vast majority of that time out injured. Patrick Bamford, Leeds' top scorer in the 2 previous seasons before last, and a big player for them to have back. And as Tyrone Mings has it midway through the Aston Villa half, a big player, but the positive for Leeds is the form that Rodrigo was in as well before his injury, because now they genuinely have 2 options that they will hope can both get into form and give them that attacking threat. It's about defending with the 10 men that they have. They're trying to come forward when they can. Harrison gives away another foul. He's got to be careful here, Harrison, because that's the second time he's clipped the heels of a Villa player. This time Coutinho. He lifts his hands up in apology, but he's been penalised a couple of times, and Stuart Atmore might say, well, there's one too many coming here from Jack Harrison, as Villa have it in the centre circle with McGinn out to the right hand side now, and Ezri Konsa. Goalless on 5 Live in the World Service at Ellen Road. 26 minutes played in this second half as Ayling gets the foot in on Ashley Young. Ramsey will pick it up for Aston Villa midway through the Leeds half. Plays it now to Buendia, who will go for goal. Oh, it's not a bad try. Has his head in his hands. The substitutes. Meslier was scrambling, might have had it covered, but not too far away.
Oh, that is inches past the post, Vicky. You're right. Great. He receives it well, and he just wants to bend it. Uses Cooper and bends it round. And Meslier, you're right. It doesn't look like he's getting there. So unlucky from Buendia.
Well, he has scored once this season, the Argentinian. Not too far away there for Aston Villa.
You know what makes me laugh?
Yeah.
Martinez was doing that in the first half, moving the ball, and Stuart Atwell didn't really hurry up. As soon as Meslier does it, he starts saying hurry up. He's not. He won't be invited back to Leeds, that's for sure, Vicky.
Yeah, 1-0 for the Ellen Road grievance book against Stuart Atwell. I mean, it is one of those things that time wasting whenever it is. It's almost worse early on, but the later we get, the more attuned referees are to it. Here is Coutinho, left-hand side. Brilliant footwork, plays the ball in, headed away by Firpo from inside his own 6-yard box, with Watkins lurking behind for a Villa corner.
Yeah, good play again for Coutinho. I think he's been Villa's best player, attacking-wise. Anyway, going forward, trying to make things happen. He's been really good. And Watkins is just waiting at the back post. Good defending.
So Douglas Luiz over this corner for Villa. He scored twice from corners already this season. He did have half a go in this second half. He swung it in again, and Meslier again wasn't sure, and it hits Konsa at the far post and goes behind, and now it's Konsa's turn to have his head in his hands. I think he was watching that all the way to see if it'd curl into the top corner and didn't realise it was going to come straight to him.
Yeah, it's a good... he missed it. It's a free header. He's 4 yards out. He has to score. He's 4 yards out, has to score, misjudged it completely and heads it right. That's the best opportunity Villa have had all afternoon.
Down into the ground and the header wide. The big cheers are because Ollie Watkins that is actually quite funny. Yeah. Ollie Watkins has... Mellier's put the ball down, he's then gone to move it. Ollie Watkins has said, right, I'll move it for you and I'll hurry up. And Mellier's gone, actually, I've changed my mind. I want it back on the left-hand corner of the 6-yard box. Huge cheers from the Ellen Road crowd. Stuart Atwell lets it go. Here come Leeds down the left-hand side. Harrison trying to nutmeg Douglas Luiz, who stands his ground. Forward by Konsa, and now Buendia, who sees the space over on that left-hand side for Young, who finds Coutinho, almost stolen by Ayling. He's out of position now as Coutinho races over the halfway line, lays it off to Ashley Young. High ball into the penalty area. Buendia will keep it just alive over on that far side. Can't shake off the attentions of Firpo. Buendia still going, plays the ball in, headed away by Liam Cooper. Aston Villa will pick it up on the right-hand side. 28 minutes gone in this second half at Ellen Road. 0-0. The 10 men of Leeds United holding Aston Villa at bay. But here goes Ashley Young past Ayling too easily. Pulls it back to Coutinho. Coutinho just past the post. Miscue. Bobbles wide of the woodwork.
I think that was the moment for Aston Villa, to be fair. It's a great touch from Ashley Young. He takes a big touch and goes ever so well, cuts it back. Coutinho can't just sort his feet out quick enough. And good pressure, and he drags the shot wide. But yeah, it is coming for Aston Villa, but Leeds are defending well at the moment.
And this is the slight challenge for Leeds. Luke Ayling making his comeback in the last match against Brentford from a knee injury, but then they haven't played for a month. And just as we saw the rustiness from Liam Cooper in the first 10 minutes, we're seeing that now from Luke Ayling, having come off the bench. But it's risky.
It is risky. He's got to
Leeds.
stay solid. He's trying to gamble to read it. Just stay in your shape.
Yeah, defending first when you've got 10 men, and he wins the header on the halfway line. Ayling, Firpo gets his own head on it for Leeds, but it breaks down and Aston Villa will try and come forward. Good challenge by Tyler Adams, picked up nicely by Douglas Luiz as Jacob Ramsey tumbles. Ashley Young has it now for Aston Villa. Down the left-hand side, here is Watkins. Lovely footwork. Watkins goes for goal, straight at Meslier.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's good feet from Watkins. He's another one. Great, beats two players, but cannot get that whip that he wants to beat Meslier. And yeah, at the moment, it is all Aston Villa. But as I said, not really testing the goalkeeper that much, Vicky.
Well, Matthias Klick is preparing to come on for Leeds, who I'm sure will get short shrift from the Villa fans after scoring that goal against them in controversial circumstances back in the 2018-19 season. A goal that Marcelo Bielsa then allowed Aston Villa to walk through and score unopposed. The ball is all the way back with Emi Martinez. Plays it out to Jan Bednarik. We're into the final 14 minutes plus added time here on 5 Live in the World Service. 10-man Leeds 0, Aston Villa 0. Leeds have played almost all of this second half with 10 men after Sinistera picking up that second yellow card. Here are Aston Villa working it down the left-hand side with Coutinho. Plays it forward now to Ashley Young, trying to get past Aronson. He's back there defending. He's done really well there. Young pulls the ball across. Watkins in there with the header, and again the contact is glancing, and again it spins out wide, and Meslier can trap on the goal line.
Yeah, it's good play again from Ashley Young. Ashley Young and Coutinho have linked up well in that second half on that left-hand side, but good play from Ashley Young. It's like he gets old, but he plays like still a youngster. He keeps himself in great condition, Ashley Young.
Yeah, just the 37 years old now,
I mean.
Ashley
Ridiculous.
Young. And the change was enforced because Augustinson had to go off, so Young switched over from right back to left back. But as you say, coming forward in this second half, he's been dangerous. Can Leeds be dangerous here? Here is Aronson down the left-hand side, pulls it back to Firpo, and now Adams as Leeds go all the way back to halfway. 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service. Firpo infield to Bamford in the blue boots, advancing towards the penalty area, still going Patrick Bamford, falls wide, went for it, Martinez makes the save, Aronson coming in, big shouts from Ellen Road for the penalty, but the reaction from the Leeds players shows you that Aronson felt he just almost got on the end of that, rather than looking around and saying, hey ref, I was brought down there.
Yeah, I think he knows, to be fair, and the players know, because they got back into their shape quickly. It was just the Leeds fans, and they are going to appeal from everything because they feel hard done by that. They're down to 10 men.
Here is John McGinn, lays it off to Ashley Young on the left-hand side, and now infield to Coutinho, goalless still at Ellen Road. Ball out now to Buendia, off the bench for Villa in this second half as they push for a winner against 10-man Leeds United. Buendia can't keep it in on that far side, goes out for a Leeds throw. Just going back to that Bamford chance, that was sharpness.
No, that was. He looked good. He held off John McGinn and then he kept on going. And it's a good save from Martinez, but yeah, really sharp. I think Klick and Somerville are coming on. Is that right, Vic?
Yeah, Harrison, one of those to make way.
And
Brendan Aronson as well. Yeah. So final changes for Leeds: Crescencio Somerville and Matthias Klick. The two players coming on. Fresh legs partly, but you know, Somerville is, yes, it's light for light, but still, you get the sense that Leeds and Jesse Marsch dictating things from the press box, sending those instructions down to the dugout. They've not given up snatching a winner here.
No, they haven't. But with Click, that's not legs. The other two in Harrison and Aronson, they give you legs. Somerville gives you legs, but that looks like he wants to shore up the midfield. And there's not going to be a much counter-attacking from Leeds.
Yeah, you could question whether Harrison's legs might have just run out.
Yeah, you're right. It is hard work. You are. It's
but
78
Click
minutes.
Not someone that's going to be bombing
Yeah, he's going to keep the ball and keep it neat and tidy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, throw to Leeds. The left-hand side, midway through their own half, as Ellen Road once again raises the volume, trying to get their side over the line. The 10-man of Leeds. Still 0-0 with Aston Villa. Tyrone Mings in possession for the away side. Out to the left, and Ashley Young as Villa just knock it around at the back. Just resetting themselves, looking for those openings. Conser plays it forward, left-footers, cleared away, cleared away by Liam Cooper, and that actually hit the top of the stand that we're in there and has bounced back down onto the pitch. You'd have to go some to clear Ellen Road, I think.
Vicky, that sums up the game. The quality of that, where Cooper's got time and he just blazes it on the top of the roof of the stand. That is the game, lacking quality.
Appeals for handball, not given. Aston Villa pick it up with Ramsey, but plays it behind Coutinho, who will lay it off to Ashley Young on the halfway line. Goalless on 5 Live in the World Service as we approach the final 10 minutes plus added time at Ellen Road. Here is Tyrone Mings out to the left-hand side, and Ashley Young, and now Douglas Luiz will just slow the play down. Again, just crane over and look at those Villa fans. You wonder what they think about slowing the play down when they have 11 players and Leeds have 10. Yes, you can't go 100 miles an hour all the time, but time is ticking away for Aston Villa. As Esri Conser picks it up on the right-hand side, played it behind Buendia, and it's just breaking down too easily at the moment for Villa. And Leeds will come forward. Somerville almost dispossessed there. Villa want the free kick. Bamford then was definitely brought down by Tyrone Mings, who's pointing to referee Stuart Atwell and saying, well, hang on a minute, what about that one that we should have had for the foul on Ashley Young? But Stuart Atwell didn't think that was a foul. Mings clearly was. Leeds free kick, centre circle, 0-0.
Yeah, I think the one on Ashley, this is why Stuart Atwell lets himself down in this game, because he went to blow, then stopped and thought, I better not do that. Do what you see. You've refed it so far. You've got most of the decisions right. It was a foul on Ashley Young. But good play from Bamford. Good hold-up play to win your side a free kick.
So, free kick Leeds inside the centre circle, just inside the Aston Villa half. And they've sent the players forward. Cock is up from the back. Bamford is as well as the free kick goes to the edge of the penalty area. Bamford will try and meet it as it comes back out, but he's lost it. And Douglas Luiz charging now towards the halfway line. Challenged by Somerville. Then was he caught by Somerville? Stuart Atwell says no.
No chance. It's not quick enough.
Clinton Morrison says no chance either. And
yeah.
Leeds play on up towards halfway. Conser will allow that ball to bounce out of play. But the tempo is coming out of this from Aston Villa. It's just slowing down a bit. And I can't understand that, Clinton. They're up against 10 men.
That's what I'm saying. Play on the front foot. That's what I've been saying the whole game, Vicky. The tempo from Aston Villa is too slow. It's like a pre-season or an end-of-season game where no one really wants to get injured. We've had a break from football. Get back and play at a high tempo.
Conser's gone down. Free kick Villa. 8 minutes plus added time to play. They're going to use their final substitution opportunity. And Danny Ings is coming on for Jacob Ramsey. He's had a decent game.
Yeah, he has. I'm surprised at that change, to be fair. He's the most likely, and along with Coutinho, but Coutinho has probably been their best player, so you can understand he's put Ings and Watkins on because he wants to go now.
Up against 10 men, it's a big opportunity for Villa if they can fashion an opening. And they have won a free kick. Ollie Watkins has gone down under the challenge of Robin Koch.
Yeah, and it's another yellow card.
Goes into the book.
It is. He's rolled him, Ollie Watkins, and Robin Koch said, "You're not going anywhere," pulls him back. I would say a very good free kick to win.
And now Leeds United have to defend it, but it was a good position for Aston Villa and Watkins. What can they fashion from this? They've hit the post in this second half. They're playing against 10 men. The ball is played into the penalty area, and Meslier takes that well. Lines open, remember, for 6:06, which follows our commentary here at Ellen Road. 08085 909 693. Have your say on the Manchester derby. Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. If you're a Wolves fan, give us a call and give us your thoughts on the news that Bruno Lage has been sacked this afternoon. And if you're a Leeds or a Villa fan, why not share with Robbie and Chris your thoughts on that Sinistera red card early on in this second half? Did he give Stuart Atwell no choice? Was it cynical? Was it intelligence? Cynicism from Douglas Luiz. How will the final moments of this match play out? 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service. Here's McGinn, picks it up for Aston Villa, still inside their own half. Bednarik now out to Konsa, right hand side. In field now to Douglas Luiz, lays it off to Konsa once again. Bednarik now whips it right footed to Tyrone Mings. Leeds getting all 10 players back inside their own half, but Clinton Morrison's not happy.
Step in, Tyrone Mings, step in. That's what centre halves do. Step in. There's space there.
Good play by Douglas Luiz, though, getting away from Click, driving forward, but it's a Paul whipped ball across. Somerville intercepts and Leeds will come forward now. Bamford tries to turn it to Somerville, goes down. Stuart Atwell unmoved, and Villa have it back with Coutinho driving towards the penalty area, lays it off left-hand side to Ashley Young. Young whips the ball in, it's cleared away by Cooper. Buendia heads it out to the right-hand side, and Konsa midway through the Leeds half. 0-0 still. The ball goes into the penalty area. Here is Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa. Bit of nifty footwork, pulls it back to the edge of the box. Luiz back heels it to John McGinn, who drives, charged down well and hacks up towards halfway. That was brave from Luke Ayling. You wouldn't expect anything less from the Leeds fullback, as Bamford trying to get the better of Bednarik. He can't, but Somerville will latch onto it. Villa do very well, though, to prevent that counter, and John McGinn comes across and takes charge, plays it back to Tyrone Mings. 0-0, 5 minutes plus added time to play.
It's hectic, Vicky. It is hectic, and Leeds are defending well. That block there from Ayling when John McGinn's getting on the edge of the box is brilliant defending. That's what you want, putting your body on the line, and that's what he's done there.
Villa throw on halfway to the cricket. Henry Moran.
210 is the target for Pakistan to win this series, but England really on top here. 68 for 3 is the score, just past the halfway stage in this run chase. The required rate now stands at 14.2 for Pakistan. England's win probability 98% according to the stats gurus. England setting 210, Pakistan 68 for 3 halfway through.
Commentary over on 5 Sports Extra. Huge cheers as Leeds win a free kick midway through their own half for handball.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, it was from Philip Coutinho, and yeah, that's the loudest cheer, and that sums the game up. Winning a free kick is the loudest cheer of the game.
They're all on their feet, the Leeds fans. I mean, this is frustration with what they feel are refereeing decisions that have gone against them. But Meslier is being roared as he comes to take this free kick, and that's what Leeds need. They need to draw on that energy, whether it's justified or not. They need to feel backs against the wall, as Bamford won't latch onto that in the penalty area, and Amy Martinez gathers, and no time wasting now from the Villa goalkeeper. He rolls it out to Douglas Luiz. 4 minutes plus added time to play. 10-man Leeds 0, Aston Villa 0 on 5 Live in the World Service. Here is Tyrone Mings as Ellen Road ratchets up the volume once again. Forward from McGinn. Buendia now inside the centre circle. McGinn once more. Plays it out to the left-hand side, and Coutinho, who's hit the post in this second half. His ball forward almost ran for Danny Ings. It was ahead of Watkins, but almost turned into a good one. Leeds get the interception, and Coutinho finds Bednarik now inside the centre circle. Exchanges passes with Douglas Luiz. Leeds, though, pressing when they can. Villa have played around it. Here is Buendia, plays it out to the left-hand side of the box. Ashley Young pulls it back to Buendia, edge of the D. Tried to lay it off to Douglas Luiz when perhaps he could have pulled the trigger, and Leeds just about shuffle the ball out to the left-hand side. Firpo and Konsa tangling. Konsa went down. Firpo stops. Stuart Atwell says no free kick. They can't play in Bamford, though, Leeds, and McGinn has it once more, and suddenly, finally, it's frenetic. Here goes Ollie Watkins inside the penalty area for Aston Villa. Challenge is made, and Meslier will come, and Meslier will take all the impetus out of that and dive on the ball just outside his 6-yard box.
Yeah, and I take my time. I don't know what Watkins is doing there. He's got 3 men around him, so if you've got 3 men around him, Ollie Watkins, you've got to let him find another player. He just runs into trouble. But yeah, good defending again from Leeds.
2.5 minutes plus added time to play. 0-0 at Ellen Road. 6:06 follows us. 08085 909 693. The Manchester derby. Bruno Lage's sacking. This game here, Luis Sinisterra's red card, among many talking points this evening with Robbie and Chris. Give us a call now on 5 Live. Click will watch that ball out of play for Leeds and then throw it away from Konsa. But come on, Ezri Konsa. Yes, Click's thrown it away, but just go and get it. Don't be drawn by it. Just keep going.
That's been Villa the whole afternoon. Slow, no tempo to their game, taking their time. I don't know. Maybe they've come here with a game plan that they'll take a 0-0, but not against 10 men. Surely not.
Douglas Luiz goes down. down, and there's a little bit of afters there with Click, who was walking away with a big grin on his face. Just needs to be careful there, Click, and not close down another free kick.
Yeah, exactly.
As Luiz goes left and plays it forward. That is what got Sinisterra sent off 4 minutes into the second half on a yellow, closed down. A quick Douglas Luiz free kick was too close, dangled the leg, and referee Stuart Atwell showed him the second yellow and the red card. But Leeds holding on to this point at the moment as Villa push in the final minutes, as Watkins gets into the penalty area, plays it straight at Meslier, who makes the save. It's a good save from Meslier. It's out for a Villa corner, but can Watkins dink that over Meslier there?
Yeah, he could. I feel it's a great ball around the corner from Buendia. His touch is good, and yeah, he could probably dink it, but Meslier does ever so well. He comes out quickly. That's what he's done when he's made saves. He's come out quickly, and it's a good save.
He's made some big saves, Meslier. He's also done a couple of howlers, but they've got away with it, Leeds. Now to defend this corner from Aston Villa will be swung in by Douglas Luiz. Side netting. He's going for goal. He's tried that a couple of times, having scored from corners twice already this season. Not on this occasion, and we see a shot of Steven Gerrard on the touchline. Is this a failure for Aston Villa to play for almost the entire second half against 10 men and not come away from here with the 3 points?
Definitely. And listen, it is difficult against 10 men, but they just lack that cutting edge. They've created chances. Meslier has been good in goal, but they've not been clinical enough. And that's what you say that quite a lot with Aston Villa, and creating chances, and their tempo's been slow at the moment, Vicky. But it will be a failure. Steven Gerrard will not be happy.
Well, they hit the post through a fabulous effort from Coutinho. As Clinton Morrison says, Mellier's made some decent stops, but Villa will think of this as an opportunity squandered as Tyler Adams closes that ball down on halfway. Will spin out to Watkins. He's dispossessed by Ayling. We're into added time here. 4 minutes at Ellen Road as the ball is high. It spins straight into the arms of Martinez. Bamford trying to close down, but Villa will build once more.
It's just this, when they're playing out from the back, it's so slow, lethargic. It's easy for Leeds to get back into their shape.
And they've won the ball through Adams. Click will send it forward. Bamford will chase. Mings under a little bit of pressure and just gets enough on that back to Martinez. But with the 10 men, it's just hard for Leeds to close down. They're trying to now with Click as the ball is over the halfway line from Aston Villa. Cleared away by Cooper, will be picked up by Watkins. The flag is up on the far side, and it will be a free kick for Aston Villa. And they're running out of time to fashion clear chances. Midway through the Leeds half, right-hand side.
Yeah, and Leeds have defended these well. Villa have not looked like they can score from a set piece so far this afternoon. But you got to credit Leeds. Even though we said Villa have been poor in the second half, and they have created a few half chances, Leeds have defended well. And when you go down to 10 men, Vicky, you need your defence to be good and your goalkeeper, and that's what they've been.
It'll be a big point for Leeds. It would be 2 points dropped, you feel, for Aston Villa as Ashley Young plays it to Watkins. Clever free kick right hand side of the penalty area. Mellier's come, doesn't get there, closes the angle down, and Leeds just about get it away. Trying to spring the counter. Aston Villa will pick it up once more. John McGinn will drive from range, and it's past the post. It's not a bad effort, but if that's what Aston Villa are reduced to, therein lies the problem, Clinton.
It is, and Meslier will be happy. It's unlucky from John McGinn. It's a great strike, but before that, it's a good free kick from Ashley Young. Good movement from Watkins. Takes too long to get the ball into the box. Takes far too long to make up his mind of what he wants to do.
Because it's so intelligently worked, isn't it? Leeds not expecting it at all. Ball down to Watkins. I know it's a tight angle, but can he just take that shot straight away, like we saw Bamford do at the other end?
I think you're right. Because if you drill it across a bit and the goalkeeper makes a save, someone taps it in, so I think you're spot on.
But it does not play off for Aston Villa, and here go Leeds. Bamford tussling against Bednarek, gets the better of him, left-hand side of the box. Bamford just gets the ball stuck under his feet, ball's about to Click. Excellent sliding block from John McGinn, and the ball is out for a Leeds corner. Leeds almost snatch it right at the death there.
It's brilliant from John McGinn. Absolutely brilliant defending, but brilliant play from Bamford. Shrugs off Bednarek like he's not there and lays it back, and that's what he gives you, and his Click's unlucky, but brilliant defending from John McGinn.
Outstanding, as Clinton says, from the Villa skipper. A goal-saving block. Leeds, though, with the corner, 0-0 into the final minute of added time here. The 10 men of Leeds looking for the latest of late breakthroughs. The corner comes across, Ayling was in there, Villa clear up towards halfway, Tyler Adams will pick it up, Villa with everybody back defending, so Leeds can come again. Will be left by Ashley Young, Click pressuring him, Click's dangled a leg, Young's gone down, free kick Villa deep in their own territory.
Yeah, he don't mind that Click. With about a minute to go, he'll be happy to take a free kick. He's saying you're not clearing that, Ashley Young.
And again, why are Villa doing this? Ashley Young has moved the free kick. Stuart Atwell lets it go. It really should be much further in the corner. But just get on with it. Exactly. If you're playing against 10 men, questions, I think, from some of the Aston Villa fans down to our right, sometimes in the way that their side have approached. There have been good moments. Coutinho hitting the post. Ramsey's been good. They've just not done enough, though, against the 10 men of Leeds United. As the ball goes out to the right-hand side, will they get a final chance? Conser plays it forward. Here is Buendia, right-hand side of the penalty area. Has options. Watkins now will swing the ball in. It's high, it's looping. Cock away for Leeds. Mings meets it. Danny Ings, nice control, edge of the box. Back to Mings, who will try his luck. The ball is blocked away by Leeds, out of the penalty area. And that point is roared as the full-time whistle goes by Ellen Road.